Well, hello. We meet again. It's Friday night, and we have the fine human beings here. Some will be coming up off of Friday Night Tights or the Frolics, or even just dropping by, and some who will be joined before the cocktail launch. But even when all that is happening, the show goes on. It must go on. And hope you're all doing well tonight. Tonight's going to be a very fun topic about the evolution of comic book characters. How far can it go? Whether it's costume change, marital status. It's been good. It's been last week is a great one. We were talking about like the whole how much is too far away from comic to movie or show. So it's nice to have another cool, challenging topic, and it's nice. I also got wonderful gentlemen who will be with me to cover this particular topic. So, and of course, I got a cool unpackaging at the end of this. That'll be super fun as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Friday Night Comic Talk, and I first bring to you from the ice cold. He is the Ice Wolf. He is Fenrir. Welcome, sir.
Greetings there, Nick. It's always a pleasure to be here among you and your numerous tastes. What you have yet to reveal every single one. Tonight we'll learn the final one.
I'm happy you're here, man. Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate it.
It's always great to be here.
Awesome. Hey, old Pat S. Always the loyalty that is the man that is Pat S. How's it going, buddy? And then, of course, we got the pop culture activist. He is a frog. He brings you the Jed.
Toad.
Totally.
Is there really a difference?
Yes, there is.
I know there's biological difference, but is there really any physical difference between a frog and a toad?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, but do people really care to learn about it?
No, people just want to be ignorant sometimes, so.
Yeah, some people sometimes confuse me with a coyote.
All right, yeah. Well, sometimes it really be like that. Streambots is running. Yes, Streambots is running. All right. Well, we got our boy Pablo of Geek Tropology fame. He'll be in here shortly when he's around. And meanwhile, we got another fantastic co-host here, guest, whatever he wants to consider himself. He is Benjamin Grimm. Ladies and gentlemen, it's clobbering time.
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
What's happening, man? Nicholas.
Dude, it's good to see you. Though I just saw you guys yesterday, it's still awesome.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
It's been
I don't even know if your name really is Nicholas. It just kind of just rolls off. It might not even be. You might just be Nick. Plain old Nick.
Well, legally it's Nicholas, but a lot of people just call me Nick, and I'm not one of those people who has really like a preference. I just say, you do what you want. You want to call me Nickelodeon? You want to call me Nick at Night? You want to call me Nick Weiser? You want to call me Nick Sidian? I don't care.
How about Nick of Time?
Nick of Time. Oh, I don't get that one a lot, surprisingly. I don't get that one enough. So thank you for bringing that one to attention.
Well, you don't look old enough, so it's still a matter of time.
Dr. Strange Glass.
Oh, yeah. Here, I'll zoom in for you.
I love it.
Oh, it's got some whiskey in there, too. I mixed with some Coca-Cola.
Like one of my favorite Dr. Strange artists, too. Love it. That's from a cover.
Which artist is this? Because I know
Frank
this
Bruner.
is not Ditko. Frank Bruner?
Yeah, he
Frank
did
Bruner.
these
Oh,
great
wow.
books.
Yeah,
I think from Strange Adventures, the one where
that cover was actually the big Doctor Strange Treasury Edition reprint as well. So he had a good run on a great run on. And he didn't do a lot of interiors for comics. Did not stay in the industry very long, but in the Bronze Age, he was one of my favorites. But didn't do a lot. Did a little bit of that. Did a little bit of Howard. Did a little bit of Man Thing.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the freaking Duck. Hey, Disease. What's up, buddy? Hello to you, my fellow fan. He's our wonderful gorilla. He was here yesterday for X-Flix and Chill with me and Paulie. It was awesome. And I tuned in. By the way, Clive, I heard some of Paulie in the group saying that was pretty awesome.
Oh, the singing, yeah, that's right. They just got done, yeah. Little Friday night singing there for the boys.
Yeah. So I got see what's new on your agenda lately, Fenrir? What's going on?
Not much. I was a little in the beginning of the day. As you all may know, I've posted on Twitter. Finally learned how to use that. I bought one of the old Adventures of the Thing comic books, the first one. And I was very conflicted of reading it or not reading it, just saving it. Because come on, a treasure like that needs to be preserved. So, but a lot of people were just telling me to just read the damn thing, so I did, and I really enjoyed it. It shows a lot about the strange adventures, the adventures of the Thing from 1990, I think 1992.
It's called The Adventures of the Thing. That was a reprint of some Marvel 2-in-1 stuff, I think.
Yeah, found issue number 1. Thinking about looking for issue number 2. I think that might be a little challenge though, because I mean this was literally out of the blue. I just found it in a bookstore in the middle of the street. Literally, I was lucky.
Oh, okay.
This thing looks pretty old, but it was a good read though.
Lord
Helped me forget a lot.
Yes.
Hey, Lord.
Hello,
everyone.
Hey, Pablo of Geek Tropology. How are you?
Hey, there's our favorite dope head.
Yep. Sorry for the delay.
Dude, you're good.
Nah, I honestly thought you were probably chasing a couple of dragons on the rainbows or something.
Oh no! I opened my room's door, and my dog had his head against the door, and I kind of smacking. So I was seeing that he's okay, but the bastard only wanted some food. So
okay,
don't they always want food though? That's kind of like their life mission, if you think about it.
I mean,
it's like what
only
they're
thing a
born
dog
to
needs to do is just stick around. He begs, we give him food. He has it good. They have it good.
oh, this dog have a great life, and his brother too, man.
But to finish your question, Nick, yes, I've been having a good day. The books have helped me forget a lot about the new Picard season coming out. I think it's pissed me off enough.
Well, if you don't mind, Fenrir, Mr. Clubber Times here on Saturday night has a very brilliant panel that you should know about that he does. Him and R.M. Briggs. Okay, you do?
I know about it. If I ever show up there, I will most likely insult a lot of the modern generation. I swear a lot.
Then you'll fit right in. That's the whole point. You'll fit right in. Yeah.
Unless you like new filth. Unless you like
let's be honest. Compared to the old stuff, I mean, the modern is just, God damn it, they don't even negotiate peacefully anymore. It's just shoot, bang, 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 violence, bang.
Dude,
it doesn't have the soul of the old
thing. That's not Star Trek anyway.
It's not. Yep. It's like they're trying to be any action franchise there is. I mean, they even tried a whole Die Hard kind of thing in Discovery. And they failed awfully.
Okay, Roddenberry knew what he was doing. There was a conflict. There was this Cold War during the original series between the Klingon Empire, the Romulans, and the Federation. So if any one of them did something really messed up, war will just explode in the galaxy. Yes. So every time Kirk had to do something to avoid the worst result, he had to trick everyone into getting things right somehow, because the first to shoot will condemn the galaxy. That was the point. Don't shoot.
He was a leader with the thoughts of the people firsthand.
Well, then the Organians invaded the game and and wouldn't let them fight, wouldn't let the humans and Klingons fight. That is. Somehow they didn't mind if Romulans did anything, but
plus Star Trek doesn't feel like an exploration anymore. It doesn't feel like exploring the universe for the great unknown, the final frontier. It's just like it's some kind of action war movie where they're just going around fighting a specific enemy.
That's what it is.
And if you want to go to the action side, there was a war previously between the Klingon Empire and the Federation, or the beginnings of the Federation.
Actually, the Romulans and the Federation. There was a Romulan Earth War. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there has been a conflict. You can go to there.
You know? but they didn't do that.
But that Klingon Romulan war, the Klingon Federation war crap in STD, which isn't real Trek anyway, that was BS. That doesn't happen.
They didn't do anything right. They just kept on there was two sides. The right side, which they knew would satisfy everybody, and the wrong side. And they just kept going for the wrong side over and over again. Same thing with Doctor Who. Another one of the old doctors
That's
died,
right.
and they didn't even acknowledge it. Again, for the second time.
All right. Well, boys, Fenrir, I'm assuming you read the group message. We all know what's going on here. Today's going to be a very fun, fascinating topic about character development and how far can far go while still staying in the confines of who the character is. I think a good example of a character who people definitely debate on how far he should have. Well, anything really. Spider-Man is a good example. Like, he's known for his relatability. He's someone who a lot of people connect with, no matter who they are, what they look like. They have some degree of connection. And there's always been this whole thing, whether it was in comic shops or people online. It was always one of those things like, is Peter Parker allowed to succeed? Because he's supposed to be a brilliant mind. He was into science, and you see something like that, then people are like, "Oh, if he succeeds, then he's not the relatable kid anymore." So, in my take, is a character like that allowed to succeed? Kind of like how with marriage, like, are these characters allowed to tie the knot and have kids? There's people who are not into like Superman being a dad. Like, where do you want to start, Fenrir? Go ahead, start. Go ahead. Where's your take on that?
First of all,
what
I just want to bring back this
character growth?
I want to bring this. Well, anything pretty much goes for a specific form of character growth from good to bad. But there's also worse. That is, as we all know,
of course,
one more day. That is the one thing you cannot do.
That's
literally never
growth.
Replicate something like that.
That
is character assassination at its greatest.
Assassination.
It was terrible.
Well, let's not talk assassination. Let's talk about character growth. Like, let's just say if you're right, you are the one writing one of these characters, and whether it's Spider-Man or someone else, really, Captain America, just like where do you see we're like, okay, this is how much they're allowed to succeed, or can they have this relationship? Because it seems like there's definitely a bit of a tug of war, and how far a character can have such things or not. Where do you stand on that, Fenrir?
Peter Parker, well, he's, as much as people deny it, he's pretty much the average Joe among superheroes too.
Mm-hmm.
He has difficulties. That's why people find him incredibly relate to. He's a good character. I believe in certain levels he can succeed, and in certain he cannot. Specifically, I think he should be able to have maybe a happy ending of sorts, a good family. That is something that I think he deserved through the years of pain and suffering. I mean, this guy has passed through a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even if a couple of characters of the Marvel Universe can't actually say they have.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he does deserve to have a specific form of happy ending with a family, maybe if possible. Either is that with Mary Jane, or with the Black Cat, or with Gwen Stacy, depending on the universe that allows her to live.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Now, I'm trying to think, because obviously there's certain elements you literally cannot take away. Like, obviously, you got to have the Uncle Ben death. You can never undo that, because that is his literal textbook reason for being Spider-Man. Kind of like the textbook reason for Daredevil being blind. It ain't Daredevil anymore. There are some things that have to stick. I can totally concede to that, as
You're 100%
we all
right on
should.
That. You're 100% right on that.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben was the inspiration for why he did it, because he did the mistake to let the criminal go, which came back to haunt him in the ass by killing Uncle Ben. Mm-hmm. It was his fault, and he saw that, and he never again allowed something like that to happen.
Okay, now I'm glad you answered that, Fenrir. Now I want to ask you another thing. Where do you see him on a job scale? Should he be a succeeding scientist? Because once again, he's known as a relatable character on a day-to-day life scale. But he's always had this aspiration of, science being a big help, being a name in that field. And he ends up, having a job, whether it's being a teacher or photographer, of course, or just whatever he can to get from point A to point B. So, where do you see, how far do you limit that success? I mean, can he ever have that type of, do you feel like he should have that type of success, or do you feel like that would be Spider-Man anymore?
Well, it depends of the kind of path he chooses. For example, if he went to the path of, a forensic scientist, for the police department, that would make a form of sense. He would have access to information of crimes, and would, have still a mundane level of a normal person. not going as insane as giving him his own company and make him as rich as Tony Stark, because that's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the average Joe. Keep him as the average Joe.
Okay.
So yeah, go with that. Either a forensic scientist or a teacher, or just a guy working in a lab as a normal scientist guy, but not one of the top 10 guys that is known for a lot of things they've done and Nobel prizes like that. Just the average Joe.
Yeah, also there's a quite important factor here, and is that Peter Parker as a scientist will need a lot of time. Science is not something that you can do in a minute. If you are calculating something, if you are doing, yeah, so if you are going to do the superhero stuff, you cannot also do proper science. You will be unable to even complete the thought because you have to run to save someone. So excelling on that level is something that I can only see while doing the gadgets and tinkering, because he needs that to survive. But in his daily life, if he tries to make that monetizable, it will be a waste of time. He will be always late. He will, and we can see that in the video games and in the comics and in the movies. They have done that because, yeah, if you are doing all day superhero stuff, you cannot do science. It's impossible.
Yeah, exactly. Tony Stark could do that when he had a secret identity because he owns the damn company. He can show up whenever he wants as the economical backup. He has the numerous amounts of science and technology to do his work for him in seconds of advancement and speed. Peter doesn't have that. He has to work with his hands by himself.
Wow, you guys actually have some really thought out responses on this. I'm serious. You guys actually are.
Dude, it's
no, I know.
Yeah.
It's a good character to use as an example.
There's a comic book fan out there who has not thought of this in the past.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. No, it's true. It's a good character to use as a strong example of where do you go with this, because obviously that is a direction that can go millions of ways. Now, what about, once again, obviously the red and blue, that's his suit. That will always be his suit. He will change suits. He has changed suits, but he always comes back to number one.
Did you see the new suit, the white and weird?
Oh, that one.
Yeah, from what I was told from a buddy of mine, apparently it was supposed to be for some job he got that he actually got fired from, and because being Spider-Man, and it lasted like 4 issues. So
thank God.
Yeah,
he looked like Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man. Yeah,
missing a couple of colors, but yeah, Pepsi Man.
Yep.
He did look like Pepsi Man.
Right?
Yeah, he did.
Fender, there you are. Okay. I want to make sure you're alive.
Oh yes, I'm definitely alive. I'm just listening in the darkness.
Hulk. I like the idea of the Hulk, because he's had his long-standing rivalry with Thunderbolt Ross, and then there's Betty, who's in the way. I mean, how long can you have Thunderbolt continue to keep pushing that away? Where do you see that type of situation?
Well, situations like that don't always end well, because both care for her, but both have an enmity with one another. And this cannot end well, because sooner or later they will self-destroy everything around them and most likely destroy Betty in the process. Either she will get in the way of one of Ross's attacks, or he will get in the way of one of Bruce's attacks in the fight and just die.
All right.
It is something bound to happen. She is, I'm sorry to say, but I do not see Bruce Banner with much of a happy ending with Betty Ross.
Ooh,
I mean, he deserves such a thing, but I don't see it. I just don't see it.
No, it's a fair take. You're seeing it as like he should have it, but for the story's sake, it would not make sense. It sounds like it wouldn't make sense. That's kind of where you're getting at.
All
right.
He has to live his life in loneliness until he learns to control the monster deep within him.
All right.
If he doesn't control the monster, Hulk smash, Betty smashed.
Yep.
All right. Before we go on to our next fine gentleman, we have a few extra faces in here. Jacob Archer Barton, Iron Tester, and D-Bud Martin. What's up, D-Bud? Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm gonna pass this next one on down to our boy Clobbering Times, and you can, if you want to think of it as a broad generalization, or even if you want to just pick a character, I want to know, where's your perspective on this, like with change, and how far can that go?
Well, comic book characters, one of the conundrums of a superhero in particular is that you can evolve them to a certain point, and then you can cough.
Salute.
But you can evolve them to a certain point. But there comes, if you remove too much of their angst and too much of their let's just say their vulnerabilities and their problems, you cease to have a superhero. In other words, if Peter Parker achieves a maximum happiness, there's no adventure for Spider-Man because he's got that. He made a promise to fight crime out of guilt. He is motivated by the guilt of not acting, and the death of Uncle Ben being the result. So, and Spider-Man is he's a loser at life because he's spending so much time being Spider-Man.
Okay.
In other words, with his intelligence, Peter Parker, if he devoted all of his time to advancing his own life and his own ends, he would be very successful in anything because he's brilliant. It's the Spider-Man life that takes away from that makes him such. Because example, he always beats his enemies. Not always, but most of the time, and he always. It takes a while, but he's very great. He's really great at that. But
he's a strategical genius if you think about it.
Leading both lives is something that even someone as powerful as Superman has a problem doing. So anyone with less power than someone like Spider-Man, it's going to lead to all kinds of catastrophes. Again, being able to devote himself to science has been touched on here. It's a little easier for a Tony Stark or a Reed Richards or someone like that. But a poor man like Peter Parker is going to have a lot more of a problem with that sort of thing. So you can't go too far with him, or you write the character into a corner where he's not as interesting. So his flaws, his problems, they're kind of what defines Spider-Man. That's probably true of any, because remember, this is dramatic fiction we're talking about, heroic fiction, but dramatic fiction, and that requires conflict and tragedy, and or you don't have a story. So
all right,
the character can evolve in certain ways, and the character's personal life can evolve in certain ways. But if it goes too far, well, you end up having to tell the story in a linear fashion where time passes in normal time, whereas superheroes don't do that. In other words, the characters stay close to the same age within a few years, mind you, over the course of decades. So there's only so much advancement you can do when when a character is supposed to be, quote unquote, eternal and not legacy oriented, which most of them aren't. Now we're in such a time now, it's 60, 70, 80 years later for some of these characters, that some of that's changing. Unfortunately, it's being handled by horrible writers who don't know what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
all right.
Did you see what Larry Hama just did to Iron Fist? God.
Yeah.
Iron Fist? Oh,
yeah, clobbering. It's funny because everyone's talking about it now, but I did a video on it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you were actually the first one to speak about it.
I think I may have been the first one. Now, like, the Yellow Flashes and Bounty and Comics are like all finding out. But I'm like, guys, I covered this one.
Do I want to know this? Do I want to know this?
No, we're not.
No, you don't.
Short story short, Iron Fist becomes a shameful resemblance of what he once was.
Yeah.
Oh, like every other character. Oh, you mean like every
other male character recently.
Yep.
Yes.
Every other
male white character specifically.
Clobbering.
Yes,
I got two questions for you, and the first one we'll start off with. What is the most realistically successful job Peter can have? Do you think if he can still be Spider-Man? What do you feel like is the most realistic job?
Well, he can do some of the things like working in a science lab, things like that. In addition to his journalistic duties as a do they really have photographers anymore? I mean, they do, but not like for newspapers because it's barely a newspaper. But yeah, in other words,
the type we used to have.
Right, but still in journalism,
a bunch of douchebags with their phones.
He can still be in journalism and do it very similar. But many other jobs would be a little bit tougher because a job like that has you out in the field is pretty conducive to being Spider-Man because you can be running around outside and something happens, you can go hide in an alley and change into your Spider-Man outfit. Remember, he can't move as fast as Superman, so he can't walk into the nearest closet at the Daily Planet, or in this case, the Daily Bugle, and fly, change in 2 seconds. So it does help that he's a roving reporter, if you will, as a photographer. Something like that. If he's working in a science lab by himself, something like that, I guess so. But out there in the field, he's able to see more of what's going on, and his spider senses will tell him when he's near danger and stuff. I'd say that's it, but that's if he's devoted to staying Spider-Man.
Okay.
See, that's kind of the conundrum that you're in if you're writing a character like that. There are boundaries that you can't expand too far, or you bring them out too far outside of that genre.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No, and that's why a lot of the quote-unquote status quo changes pretty much always come back to square one, because they expand out of that range, and then it's just like, oh, we can't keep this going for too long. It'll be 6 months to a year, and then come back to the core again. And now, okay, final one. Marriage, children. Do you feel like Peter Parker has had enough punishment in his life that he should at least have the privilege to say, I have the right lady and I should stick with it?
Short answer, yes, you can do that. But again, remember, he's Spider-Man. And if he does that and he does not give up the identity of Spider-Man, then he's looking for trouble. So if you write that means, what that basically means is you're going to have to be a really good writer. Write around all of that stuff.
Creative,
because remember how reluctant he has been in the past to take a girlfriend, and every time he does, it kind of goes very badly. But we all know that he eventually got married to Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
It actually lasted a long time in comic
lore. It lasted a long comics. Yeah, it lasted a long time in comics, but you have to learn how to write around that. So yeah, Barry Allen was married, Reed Richards was married, a lot of characters are married. It's fine. Is it conducive to the Spider-Man I grew up loving? No, because by the time he got married, I'd already dumped the title, to be honest with you.
All right.
I didn't really like it that much.
Caster's got a question for you here. Which girl, though, Clobby? Were you a Gwen guy, or would you make yours Mary Jane, or are you a rebel who goes for Betty? Where are you at, Clobber?
I'm a Gwen fan, but I do love Mary Jane because I love redheads. But I'm a Gwen guy. I was against killing her for the shock value that they did, that the decision they made doing that when it happened. However, it's comic book lore. It's established, and it's fine for it to happen. For a character that is as tragic as Spider-Man. So I guess my answer is Gwen if I had my druthers, but I'm fine with Mary Jane because she's fantastic.
You also forgot. He was with Black Cat too, so Felicia. Felicia.
Oh yeah.
She's fantastic. But
that's a booty call.
Peter is a lucky guy.
I've either been Mary Jane or Felicia.
Look, Peter has got laid more than any other character in the Marvel universe.
Oh yeah, he banged Shadowcat and everybody else. Like,
outside of Barry Allen, most superheroes have dabbled a little bit. Let's just be honest. Maybe
Batman's babbled a lot, recently.
I mean, DC just admitted he licks the pussycat.
Now Batman is getting bold.
Batman and Selina may belong together, but I actually loved Silver St. Cloud.
Okay, will Batman need to get a hairball out?
You just became one of my favorite people. I also believe in Silver St. Cloud.
Silver St. Cloud. But again, if we have to sound like Tumblr shippers, there are certain ladies that belong with certain superheroes, and I gotta go with Selina for Batman, for example. Look, I can't stand Lois, by the way. I love Lana, but Lois is
really.
I'm a Lana guy. I love Superboy, but
really, that's wow.
Yeah. I've said that too.
Well, you were buying Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, back in the day.
Redheads are hot. Redheads are hot. Lana Lang was hot.
Love Lana, but let's be honest, it's Lois. It's just
of course it's going to be. Yeah, he's Superman's has to be the. So okay.
And Ben and Alicia, by the way. Yeah. Johnny and Alicia, even though she turned out to be a Skrull, that was BS and it was filth and garbage. Good. So.
Bonus question. Do you? Oh God, maybe. I'll get back to it when I remember it. I literally had a straight brain fire, but we got a wild.
That's fine. Jobber
man walking in here, and just Joe 47. Even though Gwen was only the fella, she looked great in the 90s Spider-Man animated series. If I go by the 90s, oh, you got Peter Parker walks into a seafood restaurant and the fish stops swimming. Look at you. I'll let all you guys have an answer at this one. I'm actually not as aware of these names. So.
Julie,
I would Felicia or Mary Jane.
Well, what about the names that are listed?
Julie,
or you're not as familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Those
are all live action.
He's talking about Catwoman.
Julie Lee and Eartha Kitt. That was all
West.
Batman 66 and stuff.
Oh, see, I did not know those.
Yeah, what happened was Julie played her on the series at first, and they made that when in the same time when they were doing production, making the Batman 66 theatrical movie at the same time as the first season. She was busy making a movie called McKenna's Gold, so they got the wonderful Lee Merriweather. But then in the third season with Batgirl, Eartha Kitt played her. First race change probably of any comic book character ever.
Yeah.
Hashtag save gingers. For Lord Thoth out there. I know he's listening. Lord Thoth, hashtag save ginger.
Oh, yeah. He's probably listening to this and over at the other place. I know him.
All right.
I mean, if they don't make Alicia Ginger in the next Fantastic Four movie, I'm gonna be pissed. At least just give her that.
They're not gonna make her Ginger. Disney hates Ginger now.
They hate
gingers and redheads.
At least give us that. I know they're gonna turn mostly of the Fantastic Four into a bunch of transgenders.
Well, okay, here's how they go. And I agreed with Gary when he was saying this earlier. They're gonna make Thing trans. They're gonna turn Reed black. They're gonna turn. They're gonna do. And Sue's gonna be the leader. And then they're going to turn Johnny gay. I'm calling that. I agree with Gary, what he said earlier.
So Johnny will be flaming gay?
Yeah, he'll be gay. They will be trans.
There's already rumors
about black. And
there's
then
already
Sue's going to be the
that.
leader. Yeah.
Okay, you guys know about the guy who's playing Impulse on the CW. There's rumors he's going to play Johnny Storm. I mean, he wants to. So there's some rumors.
Well, I hope he has fun playing a gay guy. Yeah, so
he will.
Isn't he already gay?
Look, that movie's DOA anyway. It's not
it is. It's DOA on arrival. It's not.
My final movie is gonna be the Eternals because I'm a Jack Kirby fan. I want to see what they will do to destroy his memory.
I can't force myself to watch.
It'll be a disgrace to Kirby.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's a
anymore.
disgrace to Kirby, man. I can't.
After that, I will not give a shit anymore.
All right.
Anything the MCU does can go to hell.
Sir Jed of the Archivist. I want to know.
They already just proved no one in the MCU has free will.
Yes.
That's right.
Jed.
Yeah.
Character development. Where do you stand on this as far as train the line? Like with these characters, I mean, I'm trying to think of a character like who have we not touched that we can talk about character growth? Because actually we have touched Spider-Man fairly well here.
Superman's one of my favorites.
Superman. Let's go with Superman because it seems like there's definitely a bit of a. I've seen a lot of people be receptive to a family, and some people be not so receptive. And where are you at on that?
I used to like the old, and Mike knows.
Oh, and Pablo, you owe me $50. I told you Superman was going to have a brother.
Yeah.
Don't make me throw up.
There's something else on top of that watch. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
That's not what they're doing. Another.
Oh, I just want to say one thing.
They're doing another red herring. I'm telling you.
All right, Jed. Question.
They're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Pablo, one second. I gotta ask something. Pablo.
I'm talking.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brown.
I love. When he got married, I liked that because it was, it was either Lana or Lois, but he's been around Lois the most.
Okay.
Even though he grew up with Lana, I'm torn between Lana and Lois. But if he was gonna be with somebody, I always lean more towards Lois. But I love Lana too. Okay. So I was when in the 90s when he was thinking about giving his identity to Lois, I was excited as hell because I was so happy because I've been wanting this for a long time. And then actually it got really freaking good. He proposed to her. How he proposed to her is he pulled up and he goes, "I'm Superman," and she goes, "You see the glasses? You see the S in her glasses and stuff?" And it's just, I love that. And then they worked in tandem with one another. They were a couple. They worked in tandem, and then they didn't get married yet, but they were together. And then Doomsday came. He fought for everybody. He died right in Lois's arms, and then they had the whole Death and Return of, and we had everybody else that came in from some of the earlier comics in the 80s and stuff. And it was just, there was a whole, I loved all the storytelling. I know Claude and Mike's going to disagree with me because he doesn't like a lot of modern day stuff. But for me, that was, that whole, and even up to the point where he got married and he went through all this, and there was some really bad stuff along the way, but there was some good stuff in there along with it. And even up to the point where he got married, and where he cut the mullet off the day he got married to Lois, and he went back to his short hair. So I think he belongs with Lois, just like Peter belongs with MJ. And I think it's good that superheroes should have families. People belong. They deserve happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Agreed, dude.
Do you believe balance can be achieved from maintaining still being that hero and keeping that relationship? Because obviously,
I've seen it. Okay, back in the 90s, I saw it.
Okay.
You can even see that today.
Yeah,
Just look at Superman and Lois.
Well, they split up Superman and Lois when the Pooh 52 happened. Okay, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, that's not your guys' Clark and Lois is on an alternate Earth, and then they did that whole merging of the Pooh 52 Superman and ours together, so they were both in Lois, in both Loises. They merged the Pooh 52 Lois with our Lois, and so there was only one Superman and one Lois. So our Lois
was a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, that was a whole shit show. And then, for about a year, they were on the alternate Earth, with their kid, with everybody else, because he was in that black jumpsuit for a while, which I kind of dug. I liked it a little bit. But I wanted the new outfit to come back, the original outfit to come back. So I was just like, yeah, and it's just, you can do that, but you, like I said, on anything, like with Doctor Who, with Star Wars, with Star Trek, you have to have the proper writers and a proper artist for all that to be in sync. I've seen them do it in the 90s. They can do it. And I've seen them do it in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s. But now you can't do that because nobody wants story. Nobody wants any of this. So that's the reason why we're having all these problems today, because everybody wants to take the easy route out,
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the whole thing when you're writing like a character like Thor. People are like, oh, he's so powerful. Let me just depower him for the 1,000th time.
Oh, yeah. And
he's not invincible.
Yeah, they act like, and it's just like, I feel like if anything, the writers, they always say, oh, they're putting a corner with these characters. I'd say, no, the character is not in the corner. It's you that's in a corner because you're refusing to be creative. You want to take it easy.
They don't know how to write.
Well,
write the character for what he is, not what you want him to be.
If it was up to me, there would only be red and green kryptonite, and trash all the others, So, because that was the shitty way out of doing things sometimes. Oh, we got rainbow kryptonite. We got blue kryptonite. It was like all these colors, and I was just like, I know some of the stories were imaginary stories. Those were good because
kryptonite.
They were what if stories. You know what I'm saying? So those were cool. I love the what if stories, like the back in the day, because I have all those issues.
Oh yeah, they're fun comics.
But
gives you the imagining you're done, you're out, and then it's nothing more than an afterthought that was entertaining for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and one of my favorites is Alan Moore's whatever, when Alan Moore did those, the one.
Whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow?
Yeah, whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, and then he had the one where Monkel came and put the plant on his chest. Those
are my for the man who has everything.
Yeah, that I have like 3 or 4 copies of that, and that's like my favorite out of every single Superman story. That's my favorite Superman story out of all of them. Whatever, the Man Who Has Everything. That's my favorite one. And Superman,
number 11.
Yeah, that's my favorite. And I've always said that, and they're like, "Why do you like it?" because it showed him that, he has a heart and he did want this, but he's making do what he can on Earth, and he was fighting against all that. You even saw it in the comic. But yeah, he can. And if you have the right writers and everything else, because you've seen it.
It can be done.
It can be done. So the answer is yes, Nick. It can be done. You just got to have people, just like in Doctor Who, in Star Trek and Star Wars, we had all these awesome stories. And I was even tweeting out about
we gotta see.
I was even tweeting out about the motion picture today because I was just going back through and looking at all of my favorite parts, and I was tweeting them out on Twitter. I don't know if anybody saw that. But yeah, you can be done. It's just nowadays you can't because everybody wants to take the easy way out. Nobody wants story. Yeah.
Well, Nick,
I want to do the hard way.
What do you got, Clubby?
There's an actual caveat to all this about what it can be done. If it does, you have to write this thing in a way that does suspend certain. I hate the term realism when it comes to comics.
Yeah.
However, if you're going to be super, let's just take
drives me up a wall.
Comics don't need to be reality; they should be far away from reality.
However, applied well, it can be done masterfully. Case in point, I know I bring this up all the time because no one ever reads it but me anymore. Because you're talking about Superman, okay? Astro City by Kurt Busiek.
I knew he was going to get past.
There's a character called Samaritan. He's a Superman archetype knockoff type of character. Okay. That first issue, of course, and all the issues with him, but the first issue is about Samaritan. It actually chronicles brilliantly that if you take it into the actual, not real world, because the actual world of Astro City feels and looks and acts exactly like a Marvel or DC comic book, actual normal Earth. Not deconstructionist like Watchmen or The Boys or any of that kind of stuff. It is within that context and that framework. However, it still deals with one aspect realistically. And that's what's so brilliant about this comic. If you inject slivers of realism into the fantasy, you can write a great story. Alan Moore used to do it. Busiek did it, in my opinion, better than just about anyone ever with the superhero genre. And in the first issue of Astro City, it deals Samaritan is Superman, basically, right? Well, it chronicles one day in his life. I can't hear you. Okay. I'm sorry. I have problems. Is there
No, you can hear you loud and clear, man.
The first issue, that was me, my bad, on my technical thing. It chronicles one day in his life, and what that issue shows us, without spoiling it too much, in case anyone ever does read it, is if you really are devoted to being Superman and you have a conscience, you can never have your own life as Clark Kent, because when you go out as Clark Kent and have a coffee with Lois, or go out to the movies, or do anything that is any normal person should be allowed to have. Now, this is Superman, not Spider-Man or anyone else. Others can have a life because Spider-Man can't be anywhere in the rest of the world instantaneously. Yes. Superman can. Samaritan can. So basically, he doesn't have a job as a Clark Kent type. His alter ego is Asa Martin is a fact checker at a very popular magazine where he sits in an office and hides all day long, and everyone thinks he's in there. He has his advanced computer doing all his work while he's out there saving the world all over the place because Superman can't stop or people die. There's even one point where he put in this humorous old cliche. You know how the old rescuing the cat out of a tree type thing that Superman does? The old cliche, where he actually stops to help a girl, and then he says, he narrates this story. I stopped for a second to smile to assure that it's okay because it's dark. He says and then the next shot's him saving a guy, almost cost a man in Boston his life. This is a man going all over the world. And at the end of the day, all these superhero type things he does in this masterpiece of a comic book, which got me, fell in love with the series 26 years ago, basically says 26 seconds. Overall, everything he did tallied up to about the whole day's worth of doing all these superhero stuff, about the 26-something seconds. And that's how fast he is. And he's how Superman he is, the ultimate. And he could, every time he tries to go to sleep, another emergency. Every time he tries anything. So in his dreams, this man has Superman powers, mind you. In his dreams, what does he dream about? Being able to fly. He can fly it, but he can never use it for his own pleasure.
Yeah.
Fly. Just joyously fly, free like a bird. He can never do it because there's always someone that needs his help. So that's Busiek taking something that you don't want done with Superman. My point is this. You don't really want that done with Superman in his regular comics. You need the suspension of disbelief of the childlike power fantasy.
Wait, is that from Astro City?
Yes,
Well, you can have you can have it as in a balance.
You can't do it in a regular Superman comic to a point where if he really did it the way Samaritan does it in that comic.
Well, no. I'm talking about how he was in the 90s when he was with Lois and everything
totally
else.
Missing everything I just said.
But I already know what you're saying.
But go ahead.
About Astro City.
I'm saying that if you inject too much realism to these characters, you have to be willing to go all the way. And then, so in other words, in a mainstream Superman comic, you can't do what Busiek was able to do with Astro City. That's my whole point, and why I love Astro City. But I wouldn't want him doing that with Superman.
No, I wouldn't want them to do that fully.
That's what I'm saying.
You can have both, though.
But one point about all that is showing you how when you write these characters,
you
have to write them in a different way.
Yeah,
because there's too much realism will spoil them.
Oh, I know that.
If in other words, in a normal superhero universe, that's why Astro City's so brilliant, because he takes all those archetypes from those universes and doesn't do it to the regular characters. They're his own. Mm-hmm. So sorry to.
No. That was great input. That was awesome input. I'm glad you have been very great contribution to this. I knew this would be a great topic to have. That's why we're having it. So I love it when we can have these type of awesome, challenging conversations.
Yes, we should probably greet the sixth member.
Yes, the Iron Caster has arrived.
How we doing, boys? It's been a pretty okay week. I'm ready for Friday.
Yes.
Ready to enjoy my weekend.
Yes, nice. Is that a Fox shirt?
Oh yeah. Well, it's like a Shiba Inu. It's from some game. Stand up,
dude.
Oh, yeah. These guys don't have a little flannel shirt on.
Hey, Iron, what the fuck says?
Oh man! Oh, beautiful.
Oh, like I said, I was
go ahead.
I was reading this week. I was jumping into some Fantastic Four. I got to the first 4 or 5 issues. I think got up to number 5 is Doctor Doom. His first appearance.
Yep. That's right.
Nice.
I thought it was funny that in 4 there where Johnny's just kind of hanging out in an alleyway and he winds up just stumbling upon the Submariner. He's like, I know. God forbid he gets it wrong. This isn't actually the Submariner, and he just dunks this guy in the middle of the ocean.
And then he uses his finger to get the beard off of him and shaves him. Yeah, he's like
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, superpowers were used in a very good way.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to actually be creative, Fenrir. I mean, they're
speaking about creativity. Hey, Pablo.
Mm-hmm.
Remember our talk last week about the Adventures of Superman, about Superman and Lois, about the show? Turns out he really is his brother. You were wrong.
I'm telling you, there's a red herring still going on.
We'll let that season play out. So it could be a red herring. I know how TV shows go.
Oh, they did a red herring for John Henry and a bunch of other things. So there's red herrings.
But if it's a red herring, why did Laura, his mother, confirm it?
That's a good point.
Yeah, it is.
That's what worries me. That's why I hate the idea. I hate the idea.
They've done a lot of red herrings for this season.
You're right.
So.
But that one, I mean, she confirmed it though. I mean, I hope you're right. Morgan Edge originally was a conservative dark side in the Kirby.
Yeah, he was. So, but I still think there's some stuff that we haven't seen yet that are, it's gonna explain what's going on. So,
all right.
Hope you're right, bud.
Yeah,
I hope I'm right too.
All right, Mr. Pablo, the ball is now in your court, and I'm going to ask you, especially this. I think this is going to be you. I've not asked anyone yet on this panel this question.
You can only hope.
As far as character evolution goes, translation when one character or hero or just regular guy, girl, inherits another name. Like, for example, Dick Grayson from Robin to Nightwing. Do you find those as acceptable changes that can stick? Where are you on that?
Okay, it depends.
Okay, let's hear it. You know me. Go ahead and go all in. Elaborate.
Okay, let's begin. If you have a character that you want to develop into something else, into something different, you need a way to justify it that actually holds some verisimilitude, actually is something rational that you can follow. For example, Tony Stark was not a drunk before The Devil in a Bottle. But then that changed stuck, and a lot of his character development since then is based on that. Is based on his trials and tribulations, trying to be a superhero and trying to maintain this kind of sanity in him. Um, but then you have things like what they did in Spider-Man. In Spider-Man, they betrayed the values that Peter Parker holds and that Aunt May holds to make this change and to basically reset the character. And that didn't hold any kind of glue to functionality, maybe. You know what I mean. It was from nowhere. It was a decision that you didn't think it was proper for Peter Parker to take. Even if you base on the weirdest point of his life, well, he will take a job. He will take a really ridiculous job, but he will not harm the soul of a being. And his aunt will be out of the question by any standard. So there's a way you can justify what you are doing and you can follow it. You can even take a superhero and change it into a villain, or take a villain and make him a superhero. And I won't even talk about comic in that regard. If you have ever seen an anime that is called Gurren Lagann, there's this character called Viral that he starts as one of the main antagonists. He is one of the enemies, and in the end, he is one of the biggest heroes of the anime. And it's amazing seeing him be the rival of the hero, quote unquote, of the story, and then seeing him progress and change sides and takes decisions that are not expected, to a point that he becomes the captain of, I don't want to spoil the full situation, but yeah, he becomes really important.
If you feel like it's important to the topic, go ahead.
Okay, there's an energy that is called a racing energy, or a spiral energy, that he has been gathering. He is not supposed to have it because he's part animal, and he's a clone, basically. So he doesn't have a soul, and he cannot create this energy. But being with the heroes all this time, he has been gathering, and in a final flash of glory, he shows all of that, and it's amazing. And you become crazy seeing that scene, and it's so hype, so full of emotion, and you can feel that. And you remember the music that is in that scene is from the first moment that you met him, and you met him trying to kill the hero. So you feel that boost of energy, that moment, and the song changed the context of how you had it on your head, and it's amazing. And that's something that you can do. You can develop a character that way, but you have to justify every single step, and you have to make it so when you get to the final point, you feel satisfied, because it's all
start to
about
finish on
that.
this.
Yeah, it's satisfaction.
Okay, no, that's a really good take. I'm very appreciative on that. I like that. That's good, dude. Freaking wow. That had me thinking a lot, because it makes me think, how often do writers think that when they're thinking of that? Are they just saying, oh, let's just change it because change? But you're just saying, well, let's give every single step of the journey a justification. If you can pull that off, maybe you might be able to change, the way people perceive a change of such a identity as such. So that is a very great response to that. So yeah, you had me curious, Pablo. So thank you. That is a hell of a take, my brother. Thank you.
Awesome. And I want to say hi to the chat. I saw someone
Yeah, we
Well,
have a few.
good luck.
Steve Mitchum right here. And
Hello.
Disease is still hanging out, still in the show. Yeah, he says for you, yeah, he is the best character. And then, who the hell do you think are his hashtag line? Is his tagline? I said hashtag. Tagline. Hilarious. Best character development I've seen in anime was on Parasite the Maxim. I've not seen
yeah.
it. Yeah?
That's another great anime, man.
Oh, maybe I'll have to dive into more. I mean, I'm a handful of episodes into One Punch Man, but hey, David Serta, yeah, dude, that show's funny. It's really funny. It's really cheesy, but it's so funny. We got a certain gentleman, obviously, join us a little later, and I absolutely want to hear what the Iron Caster has to say. So. All right, Ironcaster. You were talking earlier. What where were you at about the X-Men? Let's refresh our memories.
Okay. To kind of get back into it, I believe the topic at the time had been about the idea of the evolution of characters kind of changing over time. That fundamental, maybe not necessarily fundamental change, but just kind of by and large a tonal shift of a character and where that goes over time. And I mean. For example, when I was really getting into comics post high school was probably 09, 010. So you guys kind of get an idea for where I was at there. Blackest Night was ramping up, and the new 52 was still about a year or two off. The X-Men, or it was like Marvel had Siege going on, was the big event I remember. So that was kind of an interesting, time for me to jump in, was seeing villains now and basically in control of all the government bodies, and now the heroes were on the run. And X-Men was always the team I had gone for, and I was kind of having to jump in, learning what was going on with the history of the X-Men since then, because basically I just knew the cartoon at the time, the 90s cartoon that everyone knows with the great guitar riff opening and whatnot, and learning about M-Day, how the mutants had all been basically rendered an endangered species. And, seeing that kind of learning, this changes things a lot for them, which the sheer fact of them having to kind of change fundamentally the events in the comic to justify the change of the characters. So, for example, Cyclops over that time became more and more radical. He started listening more and more to Magneto. And by the time you got to Avengers versus X-Men and beyond there, we had the Nation X where all the mutants were living on a little rock in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, forming their own independent nation. And so Cyclops was sort of a de facto leader of the people. And in doing so, his position had to change. So he had to start making the hard decisions. He sent out the X-Force task force. He started, trying to become more proactive, trying to prevent threats that were coming for them at the start. So he would send Wolverine out to go deal with that stuff. We got a great run of Uncanny X-Force from, I believe it was Rick Remender. Thank you. And by the time you get to Avengers versus X-Men, he's now become this much more hardened figure who's militant. He's a very serious figure. It's there's some great stuff in there where they're dealing with the Juggernaut coming for them, souped up from Fear itself, and so now Cyclops has to become very serious to try to deal with this. They one plan fails. Time for plan B. No, time for plan 2. Plan B implies I only have 26 plans. Whereas Wolverine, on the other hand, had his own tonal shift there as well, where the guy's been around for centuries. Having now remembered his life and having been this very brutal figure who's just sick of trying to.
What book is this?
This was the Uncanny X-Men in the mid 2000s, roughly.
Yeah, that sounds.
I've read some of those. Yeah.
So Wolverine, on the other hand, he didn't want to have to keep being this soldier, this warrior, having to basically train a new generation of soldiers.
Yeah.
Cyclops, on the other hand, saw that no, this is the reality of the situation that we're in. In a way, the two kind of became the new Xavier Magneto figures, and it was great. It was kind of interesting to see that you have two of these iconic figures now having to pick up that mentor role of that had been there before, with them on opposite sides of one another. And yeah, you could say it was some annoyance with them crying over Jean, but
oh yeah, that gets annoying. You know, they're like Jean, and then if I was Logan, I would go, Jean's coming back anyways. Stop crying, you know.
All right. Well, before Ironcaster continues, I highly recommend to.
I mean, how many times has she died?
And the fine gentleman on his panel. Everyone watch, even if you have to put on your watch later on YouTube. Watch the honest trailers for X-Men the animated series. It is brilliant. Straight,
yes,
brilliant. It is one of my favorite honest trailers ever. It's so good. I'll admit, I kind of thought honest trailers was losing steam, even with stuff that I did not like. I'm like, I don't even like this movie, but I don't think they did a good job of it. But this one, I'm like, this is what got me into honest trailers. They were all guns blazing on this one. So please save that on your watch layers. Have a good laugh for 5 minutes. I think Pat S here has seen, so he knows how good it is.
Yeah, I've also seen that too.
Orville Nation and Critzable the Crazed LDG of Geeks and Joy. What's up, guys? Thank you all for dropping in. All right, Ironcaster. Just want to say hello.
But I really have a big question. Okay, how many times has Jean Grey died?
Oh, I think probably not quite as many as you would think. It just became sort of a meme because she was best known for dying.
Yeah,
yeah, she was a meme before memes were a thing.
Yes,
so yeah, ultimately, I would say to kind of wrap things up, if your storyline can justify the change in the character and it's done well, it can be good. Like, yeah, this was my era of X-Men that really got me into the comics, and I haven't touched them in years now.
Oh, okay.
Don't blame me neither, because I did read some of those Iron, and I have some of those.
You know, it was
kind of weird because they split Cyclops and they split Wolverine, and they butted heads a lot.
And I mean, when you got into the morals of why they were fighting, and it's like, yeah, there's some interesting. There is, it's kind of an evolution of the Magneto Xavier thing, and you basically got to see that develop in over those couple of years there.
Well, it's good to know that now Wolverine and Cyclops, instead of butting heads, are touching heads.
Jean's probably pegging Scott,
Oh, no, we all know it's true. I mean,
Logan's smoking a cigar in the background watching Jean peg Scott.
Oh, that was good. No, that was really played Ironcaster.
Let's put it this way: they replaced the blades on his hands.
Come on, we all know. We all know that meme. I mean, we've all seen. She's taken from everyone. I mean, Magneto, Storm, Wolverine, Cyclops. She's been taking it from everybody.
Oh, and then Storm's like, do you want to go in that last comic we read that we made fun of? Like, Storm is like, you want to go have some fun later with Jean? I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I mean, it would have made more sense if they just jumped into the table and started doing it.
Rainbow Beard, the gender fluid.
Oh my god, Toxic.
That's definitely it. Toxic Man. There. Just a normie. What's up, dude? Thank you for dropping in. How are you, sir? Hail. Hopefully you're doing okay.
He's been busy at work today.
Yeah, I bet. It sounds like he's had quite the busy life lately, but man, that name is just so ridiculous. He changed his name for Brian. All right. So we've all answered these questions. Awesome. And a wonderful Pat S. I'm assuming he's still here. And if he's not here, I know he will be like a wild Snorlax and he will appear as soon as I mention his name. we got this fine gentleman here who wants to ask questions, and one of our chat in the chat you can ask questions too. We're gonna do a little Q&A. We'll make this interactive and fun. So David Serta here had a question, and let me go get to it. That we'll all ask, and I'll answer first. And I don't have a response because personally I've not seen the trailer, and to be very fair, I've not been really wild on the show. I wanted to like it. I like Deathstroke in the show.
I can kind of answer this for him. Go
ahead.
I mean, the whole show is a colossal clusterfuck. It is. If you're a deep fan of the comic books and the characters, you're obviously going to be disappointed with this show. Absolutely. I mean, every single character is a nightmare. They killed Donna Troy with lightning. Superboy is put in way fast and everything. Beast Boy is an insanely pathetic version of himself from the comics.
He's a super simp. You know.
Yep. Raven was done horribly. She's nothing like any version of Raven we've ever seen. She's actually emotional, which is literally the opposite of what Raven was. Mm-hmm. And Starfire just looks like a hooker in everything she wears. Even in the freaking super suit, she just looks like a hooker.
Yeah, it looks awesome. No, don't. Hey, we're here to be honest.
No, she looks like a 70s hooker with that shag coat, dude.
Exactly. I mean, the Red Hood should have died a long time ago, but it's obviously that everything now just leads to freaking Gotham. It's always just Batman.
He's like, fuck Batman, and goes and whips everybody's ass. You know?
Exactly. Now the Teen Titans are going to Gotham. I mean, Dick Grayson's whole thing was that he made the Titans because he wanted to get away from Gotham.
I'm just keeping it zoomed in here while he's talking.
Oh my God, Pablo.
Ma'am.
Jed, did you watch this trailer? Did you have the honor?
I didn't know it was out yet because I've been busy today. I've been on like 3 streams. So
I'm gonna say this is gonna fail because obviously they just want to do this as fast as possible to bring Red Hood and Black Tim Drake, so they can just do some kind of whatever story they want. Because
it's gonna be a shit show.
They have no knowledge of the comics. It's not following any storyline.
Well, it's the guy that does the CW shit, so wonder why. So.
I'll tell you everything.
Is making Tim Drake gay on the show?
He's gonna.
Oh, they're probably gonna do it because he acts gay in the show half the time anyway. So.
Yeah. But there's no order. This is just drama, stupidity, and the characters happen to have superpowers.
Yeah.
It's
a huge shit show. It literally is.
I'm still keeping on the screen, guys. I'm not changing that.
You're not.
No, just because it's funny.
Dude, The Rock is looking at me with lime green eyes right there, man.
With smoldering intensity. All right, Ironcaster. Have you seen the trailer?
I was until I got in this live stream. I was unaware the trailer was out.
Yeah, me neither. Because
no one honestly
didn't exactly
cares
market
about
it
that
well.
show.
Yeah, because if I didn't see it and Ira didn't see it, because we go around and look at things. If neither one of us seen it, then it.
I'm gonna assume Clobbering hasn't either, unless he has. Have you seen the Titan Season 3 trailer?
Oh, no. It took the first 10 minutes of it to make me want to throw up when that first episode was out. I will not watch such filthy trash. It's horrible. And the F Batman thing was a deal breaker for me.
Oh,
it's bad.
Dick Grayson acts like he's Batman. And he looks like he could be a Dick Grayson, but he acts like a Batman. That's
he gets his ass kicked through 2 seasons too.
Is that the series where he says "fuck Batman"?
And then Hawk and Dove show up, and then Hawk gets his ass totally wrapped. He gets kicked in. They put a boot in Hawk's ass.
Yeah, it's cheap trash. Anyone, I just can't get into it. Man. I love the old Teen Titans.
Yeah. All right, we got
no sense.
Next one. My first.
There's rumors there's even going to be a season 4 with Blue Beetle, Kid Flash, and.
How are they going to pull that off? They're
gonna do Jaime, and then they're gonna do like it's gonna be stupid, dude. So.
Don't get me started with Blue Beetle, man. I'm angry at that.
No, as you should be. I am too. But we got Pat S here, the awesome Pat S. My first introduction to Marvel was the 12-issue series Secret Wars at 11 years old. Thoughts on the book overall? Good or disappointing end to the Bronze Age? did it have an effect on future comics? I'm gonna let Clobbrin lead with this one. Clobbrin, the floor is yours, buddy.
Well, I happen to think very highly of Pat S. and like him so much, I really don't know if I want to tell him
I know what his answer is.
What I did with my 12 issues of Secret Wars. I don't think I want to tell him because he was a young lad at that time.
Just tell him.
Okay.
Just tell him he can handle it.
All right.
Pat S comes over to the Foul Ball channel. He can handle anything, okay?
Okay. I set him on fire and danced up and down on him and tore him to pieces and destroyed them. At that time, Marvel was pretty much being in the process of being decimated by Jim Shooter. Secret Wars was pap to sell toys. At least when DC did it with their Superpowers line, which were better toys, they paid Jack. That was sort of their way of, paying Jack Kirby back for some of the ways he got screwed by both DC and Marvel. And that was a separate line. Didn't take place in the regular DC universe. Those comics that Kirby did, they were aimed at kids, just as the toys were. Secret Wars was there to screw with Marvel continuity and do all kind of dumb changes, much like, even though it was before Crisis, much like Crisis would be for DC, and except nothing personal. Anyone who likes Mike Zeck, I'm not a big Mike Zeck fan, so I didn't like the art. Secret Wars is filled with some of the dumbest things. Again, this is just it's a terrible story. Jim Shooter has written some good things before, but this was all his baby, by the way. This was Jim Shooter, and it was just a big cash cow to sell toys and change continuity to do his bidding, and then as D-Bud says, it just led to Secret Wars 2.
Yeah, which was even worse.
Dumber.
Yeah.
And so it's got a bunch of dumb changes, but hey, a lot of people grew up and remember it fondly because they were kids, and that's cool.
Oh yeah, and that does happen. Sometimes it's what you grow up with, whether it's good or maybe even bad. You grew up with it, so there is that emotional attachment. So I hear that, Clobbrin. I really do. I think Jed wants to speak on this.
Well, one thing though, that wasn't necessarily didn't really end the Bronze Age. My disappointment ending in the Bronze Age was what Crisis and the things Crisis did to DC. So at that point, I was tapping out of Marvel right there anyway. So,
did you like the action figures according to Pat S. or no?
I thought they were kind of skinny, to be honest. I mean, I thought the Superpowers figures were way better.
Superpowers figures were way better than the Secret Wars figures because I had both.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay, and I love the DC figures better because they were more look like the characters, and DC the Marvel ones were just. Yeah.
I just thought it was not a good comment. In my opinion, I thought it was just kind of really poorly done, but that's just me.
Okay, no, all good. Jed, where are you on the Secret Wars of life?
I have a problem with more of a problem with Secret Wars 2 than I do with original Secret Wars. But Secret Wars did lead to Secret Wars 2, which caused Ben to leave the Fantastic Four, which is a stupid move. But there was some really ridiculous moments in Secret Wars. It was just
Nick, did you see on the Fox Spider-Man cartoon with that last season when they actually did the Secret Wars on there?
Yeah,
it was so dumb.
It got even though I was a kid when those episodes came out, even I was just like, what's going on anymore? And I was
Nick, that was an abbreviated version of Secret Wars too.
That wasn't everything. It was a watered down version. It was
way watered down.
You had Spider-Man bossing around Captain America and everybody else. Spider-Man was giving all the order. I'm like, wait a minute, Captain America and Iron Man and Mr. Fantastic.
And Reed was there. Reed was there. He was bossing around everybody. Reed, Cap, and every. I was like, oh no.
I know it was his cartoon, but come on.
But still, you're right. It's not. It's Captain America, and I get Spider-Man's destiny and all that stuff, but there's one guy who leads. There is a guy who is the brains, and then there's the one guy who we all know who leads Cap. We know who is the brains. Reed.
It was Captain Reed.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, trust me. I remember when those debuted. I was just like, "What's going on in this show?" Like, I didn't necessarily like hate it at the time, but I was just kind of like, "What is going
and I'm
on?"
not being rude, the Peter, but he's more of a like. If you have Reed and Cap there, he's kind of more of like a
loner.
sidekick. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a loner, and he's not a leader.
loner sidekick. If you want somebody in there, you have Steve and you have Reed in there to lead that shit. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude.
Not to mention Ben and Tony Stark.
Yeah,
and
you had
Tony
and you had Ben, so you had 4 powerhouses right there. And Peter was the leader. Get the fuck out of here.
Ironcaster.
Even Sue could probably lead better.
Yeah.
Ironcaster. Secret Wars.
I mean, I'll just say all I remember from that was that that then led to us getting the Spider-Verse back in the 90s.
That Spider was really, really good. I love that.
Okay.
Yeah, but that series was great.
I suppose to get back to the main topic, back to the Secret Wars topic, like I remember it did lead to some good stuff, some interesting stuff with the X-Men, where they were still kind of forced aside.
Some stuff, not all.
And then the bleed over back into the main comics with Colossus and Kitty Pryde. Colossus Pryde he wound up falling in love with a woman who he couldn't communicate with, and they're in Secret Wars, and it was kind of weird there as well. Probably not the best thing, admittedly. But
Marvel of the 80s, let's be honest, most of their mainstream after the 84 or so were really bad.
I'd have to go back and reread through some of the other stuff, both before and after Secret Wars, outside of X-Men, because that was primarily my go through of it was just reading it for the X-Men stuff.
I did like Inferno though. That was one of my favorites.
Although I'd say ultimately it then led to the much worse 2015 Secret Wars.
Bilbo Baggins.
How about when the Beyonder gave Matt Murdock his sight back and he refused it? Ugh.
I know, right?
Look, I love Steve Gerber, but that was a terrible story.
But Spidey was teaching the Beyonder how to pee and all this other stuff. You know, and then Beyonder met Lady Death and all this other bullshit. It was just, come on, bro.
It really was. Sven, the naked Nordic ninja. So him and Bilbo Baggins arrived in the house. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for dropping by. Right now, we got naked Nordic ninja. Listen, Geek Tropology, Pablo, Secret Wars.
Okay, I know the Secret Wars from the comics and the Secret Wars from the cartoon. I never read the new Secret Wars. I avoided like the plague.
Don't bother, Pablo.
That was where the Marvel Universe died.
Yep. Well, it was dying before that, but it really hit the nail in the coffin right there.
They literally killed the universe, and they had to bring back they had to try and recreate it, but everything came back wrong.
Yeah,
so it's like that's my
and then they brought back all the people from like the alternate universes and all the other bullshit.
Yeah, they messed up. They didn't bring back Miles Morales in his own universe. No, he just kind of bled over into the main 616.
Universe.
If you remember, they tried to call it Earth 1, Earth Prime, or Earth 1 for a minute there.
And then brought Old Man Logan too, you actually had Wolverine and Old Man Logan in the same universe.
But Wolverine
ruined a lot of characters.
Yeah.
That ruined a lot of characters, specifically Miles being in the main universe, because in his universe he was a hero of his own. Now he's a sidekick here.
And then that led into the mutants are all just sterile.
Oh yeah, that led into that bullshit, and I was just like,
I made the mistake of holding on to the X-Men and reading up through a little bit of X-Men Blue and X-Men Gold.
Yeah, they literally screwed the X-Men over. They got wiped out most of their, and they couldn't have mutants. Then they made them sterile, so they literally wiped out their kind, and then after that made them sterile, so they couldn't have kids.
Jean
And then
Grey
made them
doesn't
fight
need
with
a
the
condom
Inhumans just
anymore.
because no one picked up a fucking cell phone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Literally.
It could have all been solved with just one phone call.
That's
Yeah.
I have not seen Beast Wars. But can you guys want to answer that?
Oh, Beast Wars is pretty
Beast Wars
freaking
was
Beast
cool.
Wars,
great.
it was great. I mean, the
Yeah.
animation for me. I mean, I didn't like the art style, but it was great. It was
I'm
great.
tempted to go
Okay.
get my Dinobot.
Yeah.
Beast Wars, animation is shit.
Yeah, it is.
But
But it
the story
is
was entertaining.
fun. Yeah, they're
Look,
fun, entertaining
Beast
stories, but
Wars
the
is a
animation
piece of
is bad.
evidence. Look, Beast Wars is an evidence that you can have shitty animation, you can have a shitty art style, but if the story is solid, people will always watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there were great
There was
characters in that.
this. There was
Dinobot.
this episode with the Transmutant, this transformer that didn't have the complete code, so he didn't get to scan anything, and he was dying.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good episode.
Mm-hmm.
I
All
still
right.
remember that
Solid
episode.
writing.
Yeah,
I love
Solid writing.
Oh,
that type of
here's
writing
a
still
challenge
is great.
here. I'm glad I went back to this. Crucible the Craze. I want whoever can be the first to answer this. This is a challenge one right here from Crucible the Craze. What is the most promising new superhero from the big two made in the last 10 years? Oh,
Kamala Khan.
I gotta think about this. I gotta really think
No.
about
Hey,
this.
it's
Iron
Miss
Casper.
Marvel.
Well,
No, let's.
Not.
Masturbation Girl.
Mm. I can't name one.
Honestly, I thought we
I
were going
can't
for
think
the,
of
like,
one. It's impossible.
There
successful.
hasn't been any good superhero made in the last 10 years in Marvel.
Yeah,
or
because
DC.
most of the new heroes are either stereotypes, insanely pains in the ass, and just full on stupid.
You mean like Camilla Khan? That's a pain in the
Absolutely.
ass. Yeah,
Absolutely.
or you got the other one. What was that other chick? Miss America or whatever her name is.
American Chavez.
America Chavez. Yeah,
She's older than
she's a
10
Yeah,
years,
her
though.
origin
pain in the
story.
ass.
Her origin story just got even way confusing. Apparently, her mothers
Yeah.
now apparently they were scientists who tested on her with drugs and shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a way to reflect a lot of shitty parenting in the end of the day.
Yeah, and how she gets around, she punches air, and the star comes up, and she
Apparently,
teleports.
they're going to
I
retcon
think
that.
Ironcaster
Apparently,
has one. Ironcaster's
apparently
got
they're
one.
gonna
I can
retcon
see it in
that.
his eyes.
Yeah.
Who is
they're
it?
going to retcon
Who
all
is
that.
it?
The Court of Owls.
The villain. Okay, I like that story.
Actually-
I don't like the new 52, but I did like that one particular storyline.
It started in 2011. With 10 years, it falls within our criteria.
Yeah, I mean, the court was. The court is a good element. I'll not lie.
They had one good story. Well, two.
I would say one Iron. One.
Well, I say two because it was like I think it was like two volumes. There was
City
the
of Owls, Court of Owls, City of Owls. Okay, no, that's fair. Okay, I was
look
gonna go
at
with
Man Flu.
The answer is you, of course.
I don't
Rainbow
have.
Beard.
You're our favorite gay superhero, brother.
I would call him a new
He is
character.
the best representation there is.
If you want to talk about a character that Marvel could have done better, a lot better with, if they actually applied a good writer and be creative, I feel like Robbie Reyes could have had potential because the idea of he was an LA boy who had a handicapped brother, that's a lot of responsibility to take care of.
You know what? And here's the thing: if they would have gave him the bike instead of that stupid car, he would have been rocking
Dodge
it.
Charger, so
I don't like that Charger.
Okay,
man.
and
Terrible.
here's the thing: if they were writing that character now, he will be the one with the disability. He is not the one taking care of his brother. He is not the one being responsible. He will have the disability, and everything will be about him being a victim.
Yeah. You can't have Ghost Rider being a bitch, basically.
How about the Punisher Ghost Rider?
Oh, the Cosmic Ghost Rider?
AJ
the Frank Castle
There
one?
was a Punisher Ghost
There
Rider.
was that one a few. That was in the Thanos
so they actually
story.
gave.
I didn't hate that one. I mean, it was weird for it to be Frank Castle. I like the suit. I'll say that. I like the suit.
Yeah, it was a weird mix of crazy and badass.
I dug the suit. I'll say that. And whoever's drawing it actually looked like they were drawing it. And that's like if you look at, I think his name's Jeff Shaw. he looks like he was at least trying to draw some, unlike what a 99% of any Marvel artist in the last 10,
I mean,
15
it's not
years.
just Marvel. I mean, did you see the new Ninja Cake comic book? It is a nightmare.
It's horrendous.
I mean, how can they even call that a comic book? That's a child's book.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I feel like children should even get better than that, and children do get better than that. No,
Yes, they
first of
do.
all, I'm glad you. Glad you pitched a hard one for the panel. That is what we need. So we'll do this one here. Who's the best case here? What about supervillain? Well, you know,
it's you, Rainbow Beard. You are the best gay supervillain there is.
I couldn't say he's the best, but I do know he has a following amongst the mutant community. Wiccan has a following, and he is a gay character. I know just some guy has praised that character as well. So that's one. I had to. That would actually be Wiccan's the first one that instantly comes to mind.
Yeah.
Any of you guys got a name? Iron, Fenrir? No, yes.
North Star as well.
I got
North Star. Okay. Oh, go ahead, Klobby.
Two.
Go for it.
Wait, did he stay mainstream?
Mainstream.
Oh.
Mainstream.
I'd say Apollo and Midnighter, but
I was going to say Midnighter.
I thought about that.
I forgot about that.
That's some sick stuff out of that comic, but they are good characters. They're knockoffs, but
I did like that crossover they did about maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
That was a long time ago. Yeah.
That was a long time.
What? Literally
They've
in
been
comic
around,
book
though.
years, yeah.
But they've been around a little while.
Oh yeah, they have. Okay, no, the good answer. I wish I didn't think of that one. I'm glad you mentioned that, Klobby. I'm glad you. I was like, I wonder if anyone's on the panel. Maybe we're all tapped on this one, but
The Authority was good for what it was. It's pretty disturbing stuff, but they were actually well-written characters. I mean, it was pretty messed up. I don't know if you ever read The Authority or
I did not.
Or Stormwatch.
I know of them. I definitely know of The Authority. I definitely am very well aware, but never read it.
Pretty messed up, but it was actually. I mean, you got to say it was well done. It was Warren Ellis, and then Millar after that. I think it was Warren Ellis who did the first one. It was Stormwatch, wasn't it, or something like that? And then Authority. Kryptonite Superman.
All right, Jed. Looks like you need to leave. I appreciate you hanging out with us. This has been, of course, as per usual, super fun. So what do you got going on this weekend, Jed? Talk to us. What's going on this weekend?
Oh, well, right now I got to scooty over to somebody else's right now, too. Over to Foul Balls. And then I don't know what we're going to be. Oh, yeah. Me and Pablo, and I'm going to be on Pablo's streaming them first tomorrow. And then it's going to be T-shirts after. So, Sunday, I don't know what we're going to do because that's Father's Day. I've had several people that they want us to do a stream, but I'm like, I don't know. People are going to be out. Well, people in Canada and UK and other places can't go anywhere yet. So I'm thinking about
for them.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do a short stream. It's just going to probably be a bullshit stream where Pablo, we're probably going to need you to get a bunch of pictures and stuff for your segment.
I'll bring my books and I bring my pictures.
Yeah. Okay,
could do a little post E3 talk.
Yeah, and then Iron, you're always welcome as always, brother. So
if I can find the time, I've got a wedding and a family member passed away, so it's a little.
No problem. Go do your real life stuff, okay, brother. And I don't know what we're gonna do on Sunday, but yeah, we'll figure something out. So maybe a Father's Day show or some stuff. So
Killer dude, go head on over to the cocktail lounge, man. Have a good one. Thank you for joining us.
No problem. And thank you everybody that's over. And after you get done here, come over to the Foul Balls, okay? Not now. Stay here at Nick's. But I got to get over there. So after Nick's, everybody come over there and hang out, okay?
Yes.
Thank you, Nick, for letting me be on every week, brother.
My pleasure.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I like this one here. Critable the Crazy. He's coming out swinging.
Jed, you little frog.
Coming out does these here. Thank you. Come again. All right. Critable the Crazy. I'm going to answer this one. I remember the old school champions. I wasn't that familiar with I knew who the characters were in the New Warriors. I never really read it, but I did enjoy me some Defenders. I really. Oh, Tox. Hey, good night, buddy. Thanks for dropping in, Tox. I'm glad you spread your gender flu to all of us. We always appreciate
it.
Take
it easy, Toxic.
All right.
Yeah, love the Defenders.
Yeah, right. You're a Defenders guy.
I did like the Champions. Okay, I never read the New Warriors because just at that point I was kind of dipping out of Marvel. But
okay, which Defenders are we talking about? We're talking about
Real Deal.
The real
We're talking about the Doctor Strange Defenders?
Yes.
Well, the only ones that matter. The real ones where original
okay,
team
because I really didn't like the change to street level.
Original, that's not the Defenders. Original team, of course, I love. Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, Submariner, Hulk. Then Subby and Silver kind of left fairly early on after when they finally moved into their own title. But I loved it. It was Doctor Strange, Hulk. I loved Nighthawk. I love Valkyrie, the Brunhilde one. And of course they started bringing other characters like Hellcat.
That Valkyrie was the real one, bro.
Yeah, and I loved it because they were a loose group. They didn't have really much of a HQ or anything like that. It's just that when Doc Strange ran into something they needed some muscle for, he'd find some way to. It was I think the A-Team stole this. They would find some way to manipulate the Hulk into helping them. And the A-Team, they used to they had the drug BA to put them on the airplane all the time. They would trick the Hulk into helping them. And
they wanted the Hulk into helping. Okay, well,
yeah, look, because nowadays, you see these Avengers. So I'm not like some of those MCU films. It's never natural for me to see him with the Avengers. He was in the first 2 issues, and then he left the group. He was, to me, as growing up, he was a member of the Defenders. Avengers, he was barely anything to do with. And so every time I see that, it's like, just for example, instead of calling that TV show on Netflix, Defenders, you should have just called it Marvel Knights or something. The Defenders
Heroes for Hire.
Doc Strange. Well, it should have called it Marvel Knights, probably, since you had more than just the 2 Heroes for Hire. But yeah, either way, don't call it Defenders. It doesn't work. I know they weren't the first to do that, but
because now I don't think they're going to be able to do a Defenders with Doctor Strange and the Hulk. It would have been cool if they went that way.
It would have been nice.
No, they want to kill Doctor Strange.
But they weren't going to do it anyway. They have to, because they can. Remember, they can't give Hulk his own movie now because of movie right tie-ups, but they can put him in the Avengers and stuff like that. So they could put him in the Defenders.
No, they now have killed the testosterone on Hulk. They will kill Doctor Strange.
Well, yeah, it's over now. There's no
every male character has to die, so it was replaced by a superior female character that has nothing between her legs nor in her chest.
Okay, it's like now they are casting Namor, and they are trying to make something with him, and they wasted basically having the Illuminati on screen. They could have they had Reed Richards.
Yeah, they just needed Namor, Beast, and Reed.
Reed Richards is coming, but they had Tony Stark. It's
not going to be Reed Richards.
To be honest, Pablo, as much as I hate the MCU anyway, I hate that Illuminati garbage from the comics. It was trashing. It was absolutely destroying the characters of Reed Richards and Tony Stark and
because it turned them into a
bunch of Illuminati scumbags.
Psychotic douchebags who
what they did to Bruce Banner was horrific. It turned them into villains. I hate that stuff anyway. I don't want to see it on screen.
I gotta admit, I hated the Planet Hulk story too. They literally provoked the Hulk in that one.
You could have found another way to put them. You could have found another way to put them on the planet. Not doing that to those heroes.
I mean, can't Doctor Strange open portals anywhere in the universe?
Well, so can Thor.
But plot armor and plot convenience, whatever moves the plot.
Ways
what they did to Bruce Banner, there's no way that they would have done that. It's just that was not my Marvel universe.
In a rocket. They wanted the
terrible.
Hulk in a rocket.
That's not my characters that I grew up loving. They're heroes. They're not like that.
They're actual heroes. They're actual heroes.
Yeah. That was unheroic garbage.
I'm sorry, all they heard is her-os.
Now they're her-os.
Oh, God, that Captain Marvel trailer.
Is that a Kinder Egg?
What?
Is that a Kinder Egg?
What?
Oh, this is, I got one left over from the awesome R.M. Briggs. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Those are the real Kinder Eggs?
Yeah. Got the toy inside, too, shaking it up. So.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. This is something I tell in every stream I am. We have the Golden Age, we have the Silver Age, we have the Bronze Age. Now we're in the Brown Age, the shit age.
The crap age for sure. I'm with you. We're in the garb. We're actually in the garb age.
Yeah, the God.
Nice.
You guys are killing these jokes. All right, though, for real now. So we No, seriously, that was funny. So I'm glad it was mentioned. Fenrir. Which one of these teams? New Warriors. What was it? I only go back to it. Champions, Defenders. Or which one is your go-to?
Well, I've had information on both the Defenders from Street Level and the real ones from Doctor Strange, and I'm also a follower of the Champions of LA. I like the original run with Hercules, Iceman, Black Widow, and Angel. I like that run, but I don't have much of memories from that. I only had a couple of issues growing up of those, so I'm more knowledge of the Defenders, the Doctor Strange ones.
Okay, cool, dude. Cool. Ironcaster.
I've honestly not read any of them. However, I do like the lineup of the Defenders best, just based on a little bit of reading and research I've done in them over the last few years. It's one I need to get to. It's definitely on my list. Okay. I'm trying to get some of the Epic collections on eBay, but good luck with some of those because they don't like to reprint some of those.
Yeah, well, because it'll actually make money. And that's not a good thing to make.
Principal the Age. I did not forget about the Copper Age. I simply didn't think it was good to mention it.
Copper. Yep.
Copper.
In the meantime,
everyone forgets Copper.
At least going to my Thor some more.
Garbage.
Everyone forgets Copper. Oh, what you got there? I love that.
Zoom in on
that. I've had this one.
I love Epic collections.
I've got about I think 7, 8 of the Thor ones, so I've got Epic a good chunk of the run.
Those are great because they're thick and yet they're not hard. I love hardcovers, of course, but they're easier to read.
Oh, dude,
like nice,
like just huge chunks of my shelf are just Epic collections. I could probably grab a chunk just to show you guys.
Let's keep that for a special day, bro.
There are a couple sites that have good prices on trades like that and stuff they're dangerous to me.
I bet.
Every now and then, a buddy of mine will text me a picture of something got. They said, "Thanks a lot, dude. I don't need to spend any money. What are you doing to me?" And then, of course, I went and ordered a couple today because an idiot sent me some pictures.
They did you in, Bobby.
They know your weaknesses.
I'll tell you, man, I love my trades and even on some hardcovers, you know.
They know your weaknesses.
TZ Canadian Beer comes in tipping me some sweet money. Thank you, TZ, for being excellent. And let's see what he has to say with a $10 just hanging out and watching it. Dude, thank you. Thank you for hanging out and watching and listening. That's awesome. I didn't even know you were here, so welcome, sir. Didn't know you were here this all the time. I feel bad if I missed your name. And Pat S here, not going to lie, I like the rapid fire pace of the show. It makes the show stand out. Nice job. Woo!
Pat, you the man.
Yeah, hey, dude. It's about putting on a good show where we go for these awesome topics and we try to make it entertaining and try to be very thoughtful and thorough. And that's the goal. And hopefully we're hitting the mark. That's all I'm hoping for.
You are, man.
We're hitting the mark and we're entertaining. So, hey,
you are, buddy. It's from my neck of the woods. I hope your weather's holding on there, but we're about to get hit. We're about to get slammed by a bad storm, both of us.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Dude. Well, where we are, dude, this is hurricane season. This is just a tropical depression, but we're looking at some fun this summer. Oh.
Pablo, do you have any of those teams? You're the last one for that question. Warriors, the Champions, or Defenders? Were any of those that were to your knowledge?
Yeah, the Defenders, but okay. I have read both the original Defenders and the new Defenders, the Luke Cage and what they tried to do basically on Netflix, wasting a lot of time. And yeah, I kind of feel the same. The new Defenders are not that great. I mean, as a character, they have a lot, but I don't know. I don't like what they have done with them.
What about the old Defenders?
Yeah, the old Defenders. Doctor Strange has always been amazing to see on comics, and he actually got a lot of good stuff there. So, other than that, the New Warriors, I haven't followed them at all. Yeah. The other team, I don't really.
Champions are pretty cool, though. Champions are pretty cool. I mean, what a group! Ghost Rider, Hercules, Black Widow, the Angel.
Oh yeah, it was a cool lineup. I remember seeing it, and for some reason, I just never got around to it. Even though I remember like seeing old cover, like this looks fun, but then for some reason, I just never got around to it. And here I still am not getting around to it.
Yeah, well, they didn't always have the best art, to be honest. They put some not great, some not of the better artists of the time on the series, to be honest. But I still, not like.
Mm-hmm. I never even got the comic recommended or anything. It's like I never got exposure to it. So
yeah,
any issue, anything that you can recommend?
Well, I believe there's a trade on there. Maybe might be an Epic collection on that. Let me check. I think, and that way, if you can track that down, I think there is one.
Okay.
Let me see if there's an Epic collection. And that'd be the best way because there weren't a lot of issues. So I'll check on that.
Looks like we have 92 through 152 collected roughly of the Defenders.
Oh, that's Defenders. He's talking about Champions.
Oh, that's Defenders.
Oh, I heard Defenders.
When you Google the Champions, you got to make sure you're not talking about the old TV show, the British TV show. You got to put Marvel.
No. I've got the Wikipedia up for all the Marvel Epic collections because I gotta keep track of just how many I have.
Yeah, there is an Epic collection. Yeah, there you go. The Champions Classic. Yeah, it's nice. Pretty. No. Wow. No.
So they are actually popular.
Sometimes these, I don't know what happens with the print runs with some of these things. I'm gonna check my favorite site, see if they got it on there.
There we go.
It was a Masterworks. What you looking for? Whoa, it ain't cheap, man.
Come on, Ironcaster, don't bring that up. You're tempting me to go outside and buy a lot more than what I can offer, what I can afford at the moment.
Wow.
I got. Do I
what
have
you looking for?
Oh, just finding some art. Oh, some art, from a little known guy you might recognize.
The king. Hail to the king, baby.
You gotta love the work of the king.
Oh man, let me see. I love it. Let's see. That's somewhere in the 60s or like issue 60, whatever, 70, something like that. There you go. Volume 5. Okay, good. Yep. That's let's see, FF 66 is through 87. Oh my goodness, annual 6. Yep. Kirby did, of course, the first 102 issues. And
got some.
It was quite a run. Ooh, nice, Alan Davis.
Nice. Very much. Excalibur. I gotta admit, Excalibur doesn't get the respect it deserves.
I like that run of Excalibur, though.
Oh, it was just fun. One of my favorite runs that was getting into some Doctor Strange, like 90s Strange. He had the coolest outfit. He's got the black sunglasses.
Like that. It looks like Keanu Reeves. The
art on the inside of this. You can just drink this in.
Drink this in. Oh my
God. The Thing and Doctor Strange have always been great together, and maybe that's great about the Defenders. All they did with mixing it up, man.
More Doctor Strange.
Show us your big books. Yeah. Look at Dormammu.
I'm just gonna tell you. There is not a modern artist that can do a cover that compares to any of this, or even a comic book page.
No, they can't. That's
not near.
That looks like reprints of some Bronze Age stuff right there.
This also has in it the name of the volume, Triumph and Torment, Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange.
Mike Mignola. Yep. There you go.
Let me tell you something. I think the only way
Marcos Martin on art.
I think the only way. I mean, seriously, the only way Marvel and DC Comics can survive again is if we start reprinting old comic books.
That's probably what they're going to have
to do. That's
what
they say they're going to be doing, according to that idiot Eric Larson.
This is only the D through E. There's just
and that's just
a huge
D through E.
I dropped the D.
You should drop it.
Got some more of those? Cool. Nice.
If you want to get more, go ahead. I'm actually going to do an unpackaging here, and just in case, our great friend, R.M. Briggs is somehow listening or watching or spying. I gotta get my gloves on because I know how she. See, look, I got the receipts right here. You see the gloves? I'm getting them on.
We're your witnesses. We'll testify.
I got witnesses.
We will testify in court for for you.
Yes. So I mentioned a few days ago. I think it was actually yesterday. Sorry, that was yesterday. It felt so long ago. That I got a certain package in the mail last summer when I was learning about like the Indiegogo stuff, and I remember watching a EVS stream. And I remember like hearing about a book they were talking about tobacco called Mighty Mascots from this guy named Keith Gleason from Alterna Comics. I'm like, cool. Oh, it's based off a bunch of cereal brand characters. I should check that out and back it. And so I did, and it finally came in today. And this is the packaging right here.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. So we're gonna open it up and we're gonna take a gander, see what's up here.
He and his buddy John did a book called Hero Envy years ago too. He sent me a bunch of them. He sent me a bunch of them. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. So first things off, we got a collection of buttons here, and it looks like we got characters: Captain Horatio Honeyflakes, Boxer Bear, Mondo Martian, Rooster McPunch, Boom, Smack, Whack, Sea-Rat, Professor Manny Coleman. Artwork by Ian Warianto. Mighty Mascots created by Keith Gleason. Right over here, yeah. It's called the Collectible Pin Set Mascot Bull Call right here. This is kind of cool. I'm not even much of a pin guy, but I like this as like a looking collection.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I could get behind that. And then, of course, I like the good old bookmark. Oh, this is actually really thick bookmark. And it looks cool, though, right here. They used to just say breakfast. That's a good slogan. Well, they say my breakfast, so yeah, it's true. Ooh, what? Oh, dude. Oh, no way. Stickers. Ah. One whole set in every pack. Kind of like how they brought the cereal. One whole set in every pack. Gosh, this is already bringing back the great memories of having the cereal box, like Uno, the game on the back. Oh man, this is cool. Okay, so we got another one here. It looks like it's for his YouTube channel, guys. So if you guys somehow are not on YouTube, hold up, let me fix that up there. YouTube.com/Indie Comics Relay. That's his page. What's up, Zach7? I see you over there. I'm doing showing off a Mighty Mascot. So yeah. Follow Keith Gleason there. I'm going to try to see if I can get him on the show after I read this. We can talk about it with him.
He's a good dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Nice fellow.
Yeah? Nice. All right. Ooh, so this looks like a flyer type of thing, or like a short Mighty Mascots short right over here. Man, I got a lot of stuff in here, so this is cool.
This was the cereal mascot one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
That's cool, yes.
You think of no more perfect comic for you, Nico.
I know, right? That's why I'm like, I have to back this. I don't even know what this is, but I have to back it. Like, some things are just made for you, and you have to respond to your calling. It looks like this has to be like a mini poster of sorts. Oh, dude. There
you go.
Yeah.
But will you frame them?
That was like some cool art.
I will, especially if I enjoy the story. Like the characters look cool. I'll say that, and I'm not just saying just because it's an alternative, but I do enjoy the design of the alien and the dude with the bee on his chest. So that's all that. Now we got some. We got some first series 9-card complete breakfast set here. This little cool old school packaging.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It does look like the old Tops packaging.
Yeah, it does.
What does that say? The top left.
Flops. Does it say flops?
Yeah, flops. Okay. It says flops. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks even like the old wax paper they used to wrap the old wacky packages in. I miss my
that's seriously like, what? I'm just gonna go for the open. We're going all in. We're in this together.
Might even have some bubble gum in there.
I don't smell any bubble gum.
No
Damn.
gum.
I was just hoping.
Remember you used to open those and they would smell like bubble gum because there's a little bitty cardboard bubble gum in
Invitation
there.
to a live stream is canceled now.
You're not coming on here anymore, Keith. So we got a collection of the cards, y'all.
Nice.
So we got
That's
this
awesome.
guy, Captain Horatio Honeyflakes. Yes, I know. Does he's like he opened it? Boxer Bear, Mondo Martian. So yeah, just a few of the cards.
Nice.
Pat S here. Since you have the gloves on, how about you make us all some meatball subs, dude? Tell you what, man. I could probably actually get the job done with those. And of course, I got the books. So, got 3 issues here. Here, let me get a better holding on this here. And let me get rid of that comment as well. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
It's Black
Game
Power
over.
Goku.
I was gonna say I see like an Iron Man like, I see a Goku like, and I see a Wario as well.
Man, that ape looks like grape ape.
Me, Wario.
That ape really does look like grape ape. I know he's probably maybe what he's going for. Grape ape,
Right.
grape ape, grape ape.
Get that shine off. Oh, there you go. Oh, totally Goku. Battle damage. Dude, I like that. Is that like a Magilla Gorilla gone purple?
I'm thinking grape ape. It was an old cartoon. Maybe Magilla Gorilla. I mean, he's got the bow tie thing. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
that's
What
Magilla.
about the girl with red hair?
It's a bow tie. It sold it for me.
Feliz.
Yeah, it's probably Magilla. Man, it could be Magilla.
Gorilla for sale.
Like anyone's gonna know who. Like anyone's gonna know who that is, dude. I don't know how you know it.
Hey,
Grape
I'm a
Grape
kid, and I'm very much I'm a kid compared to you guys, but I know who Magilla Gorilla is.
There you go. Good.
Oh, hold
But
up.
do you know-
Hold up. One more
Faith
thing
restored.
on these two. We got some SIGs. I just realized. Look at those SIGs. Yeah. Got them SIGs.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one, but of course not least, it's still another comic. The number 6 with the signature and a cool cover to boot. The bonus round. Oh, they're going to overtime, I guess. So yeah, cool packaging. I think I only spent like $20 or $25 on this thing. So I really got the bang for my buck out of this. So we're looking forward to reading this, and I'm sure it's gonna be fun. It's probably gonna be like simple in story, nothing that's trying to be like a large scale grand finale. Just gonna be a simple, fun, beat 'em up type of story, and that's fine because I'm simple and I'm fun like that. So yeah.
D. Bud Martin. Yeah, that's right. Magilla Gorilla and Grape Ape's Love Child.
Pat S. Oh, I get it. I dig them. Sugar. Oh, dude, honey smacks. Yeah. Oh, there was a time that was a go-to for me. What was that particular seal? So, all right, Ironcaster, you got some big books you want to show us?
Oh yeah.
I love Quist.
I have a question for Globby.
Great.
I have a question for Globby. Is my idea,
Dude,
or
come on.
I couldn't hold that up any longer.
Is your what?
Is my idea, or most of the people that went into
Hey,
the
stop showing
Defenders
off,
were forced by Doctor Strange? Because Namor was forced into joining the team. The Hulk was forced once. He basically forced people. Even the Thing, I guess, was...
yeah, he kind of manipulated people into it at first. Yeah, early on. Well, there was a... I love the original run, of course, of the 70s, but in the early 2000s, a rare good comic that lasted maybe like 11 issues. And I can't stand Eric Larson usually, but Kurt Busiek did most of the writing. Larson worked on it with him, where they brought the Defenders back, the original group, and they were cursed by one of their enemies, forgetting the name at the moment, to where anytime Doctor Strange would go to some emergency, they would all, no matter where they were, meaning Surfer, Subby, and Hulk, would be transported there.
Disappear?
Yeah, and they hated each other. And they would be transported to all these emergencies because he cursed them to be linked together. And it was really a great comic. It only lasted like 11 issues, that one from the early 2000s.
I need to read that, man.
You got to, dude. It was hilarious because it was not just, it was great, but it was a lot of fun because they truly couldn't stand each other at that point. And it was kind of played for laughs in some ways, but it was fun. Sorry about that. Go ahead there, Ironcaster, man. You got some great stuff there.
Well, we talked about her before. Oh, this one just came out.
Oh my!
Oh,
Ooh.
That's the best right there.
See that, boys and girls, what we call in the game a callback.
I love this epic. That is, well, I love the Dark Phoenix saga, man.
Chris Claremont knew what he was doing.
You'd have the special edition of the last issue of the Dark Phoenix saga with the original ending.
Oh, what do we have on here?
Untold Dark Phoenix saga. Probably not in there.
Okay, let's see here. Treasury Edition
Wait.
2627.
There was an original ending?
Yes, you all know about that, right?
I don't. So I'm a bit. X-Men was one of the lesser things I looked into. So I'm a bit of a normie with the X.
Again, I just asked. There was an original ending.
Yes. Originally, she was not going to die, and they wrote Claremont and Byrne wrote it as such, where she does survive, and then Jim Shooter decided she deserved to die because she wiped out his planet of asparagus people, and she needed to die. And he killed her. Well, a year or two later, they released a prestige format, not prestige format, but it was a high slick papered reprint called Dark Phoenix Saga: The Untold Story or something like that. This is back in the early 80s, not too long after the original comic came out, with that alternate ending. I have it somewhere. I don't know what it did with it, but it does have the ending pages that are different.
Yep. No, this is the Dark Phoenix Saga and
Yes,
Days
the
of
normal
Future
one
Past.
right there,
This one right here.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's great stuff.
It is probably one of the better ones to get because you get to see all the build of the Dark Phoenix Saga. You get to see Wolverine for the first time getting to go full Wolverine.
It's great stuff.
Berserker mode.
Oh,
well, there was an issue called Wolverine Alone that pretty much plummeted him to superstardom with the Hellfire Club story. Many issues before that Dark Phoenix Saga, though. What else you got there, dude?
One of my favorite costumes.
Toxic male rising.
I kind of like
That's
their first
my Miss
costume.
Marvel.
I kind of like the first costume, but I like that one. I grew up. See that one there?
That
the first costume.
That is the true Carol Danvers.
It's a solid costume, but for my money,
that is the true Carol. That is the true Carol right there.
It's tough. Look, it's tough to pick a favorite.
There's nothing else besides that when it comes to Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
Which had Chris Claremont.
I mean, how can you have that and then turn into what we have today?
You can't, buddy. You just can't. But yeah, great stuff.
All right, here.
I mean, just
go ahead.
Sorry. So this also has the Avengers 200 and the fallout from that.
One of the weirdest stories ever. I'm not going to talk about it because it's so weird, but you got to trust me. Go look into Avengers 200 and then awe that they wrote that in a comic book in 1980 for what happened to her. And boy, it gets problematic. There you go. So that was the original cover for the first New Mutants graphic novel.
Number 4, I believe.
Which was one of the early ones. It was a 2, 3, 4, whatever it was.
Hey, Steve Mitchum. Hey, thanks for hanging out, buddy. You were here for quite a while, man. So be well. Hope you're enjoying the dad life. I'll make sure I at least drop in for a few minutes on Clubby's chat tomorrow because I'll actually not have work for once on Sunday. So I'll at least be in the chat for a little bit for that. So, yeah, take care, Steve. Thank you.
Man.
Go ahead, Ironcaster. Carry on.
Sienkiewicz.
Yep, Sienkiewicz. His art is just insane scribbles.
Well, that was just so weird that him on that run, but people loved it. I never really read it.
T-shirted historian.
T-shirted strut bug.
He then brought in one of my favorite X-Men characters of all time, Warlock.
Where are you getting on these Epic collections, dude? You just order them online, or you just?
Yeah, basically. I
still can't
for a couple of them able to just walk into my local shop. And then just to show this off, all of this is Thor.
Nice.
So when I say I've been collecting,
I love it, dude. That's so cool.
Your stuff showing off, bro.
How can you not? I mean, the one downside is that they don't have.
Wait, is that the Thor corpse run?
Beta Ray Bill.
It's after Simonson left the series.
Ron Friends. Tom DeFalco.
That's the one collection I need to get. I need to get
much of a
Simonson.
Never much of a DeFalco guy personally, but the Simonson run was I'm gonna have my issues with him. But that Simonson run though.
Oh yeah, well of course the Simonson run. Yeah, no one.
Wait a second, is that Quasar?
Yeah. That's the set. Well, yeah. See, I did. I really love Ron Friends because he just looked at me unabashedly aping Kirby on that cover in his interiors.
That certainly is the good stuff.
Ron Friends really apes Kirby, but in a good way. And by the way, you know what's weird? Ron Friends, a couple of months ago, jumped on my Baxter Building Basement group just to say something out of nowhere. I didn't know. I couldn't believe it was him. It was because I was ranking artists for certain characters, and he chimed in on it on the Spider. I think it was like Spider-Man artist, and he chimed in, and they felt bad because I didn't have him on my list.
Oh, hey, look at that. Friends.
I like Friends, though. I mean, yeah.
Good old Ron Friends.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Is that John Walker there?
Yes.
The Celestial.
Oh, this is a great story.
The only Celestials that matter. I mean, the actual Marvel continuity Celestials, because that thing in November is non-existent. It doesn't exist. Oh, hey. Yeah. Hi, Thor.
Comics had one job, to be fun. And again, even that basic panel layout and the way it looks, it's a busy page. The panel structure is good, and they can't do anything like this today.
No,
that one picture alone, you could just like spend minutes just staring at. There's always so much to draw your eye to.
I love old comic book art, even the Bronze Age stuff. Like at that point, the later Bronze Age and the Copper, even that's kind of copper right there, but still.
We're on RuneQuest.
Monique.
I mean, seriously, how can you not? Those were the days comic book stores
with the runestones.
That's my favorite Thor costume. I never like any other one personally.
Yeah,
really?
I would have preferred. I would have preferred.
That's not nipples.
I would have preferred the movies went with that costume.
That's my favorite one. Unique. I just can't get into any other costume he wears. I really can't.
That's fair. I mean, that original costume is the suit.
Gil Kane cover, and I love that. Look at the interior for a second. Keith Pollard was underrated as an artist. I mean, I love his run on Thor.
Oh, dude, look at the color.
That color's beautiful.
Kirby crackle in there.
Yep. They all learned from Kirby, but
I mean, that's a good thing.
Well, I believe Joe Sinnott probably inked a lot of that. Or I don't know. Actually, I don't know if the Sinnott inked that one there. It looks Sinnott, but
seriously, if I could find a time machine, I would go back in time and try to become Jack Kirby's student.
That's one of the nice things about these. They list all the people. They list all the cast.
Some Stone, some Bruno, some Calio. Well, wow, got a lot of people there.
Yeah, it's a busy one.
Who wouldn't want to learn from that guy?
Yeah, you're right, man. And they all did. And they all learned from him, one way or the other. What's that, man?
They're really good at listing off everyone who worked on these.
I love that about them. They don't pay them, but at least they list them. Well, some of them are dead.
Yeah, that'll definitely, you want to send money.
Yeah, the new look pretty much sucks.
Jack.
Yep, we're getting back to Jack.
King of Thor. Oh my God, man. That was at the height of his powers. Even Vince Colletta inking couldn't ruin Kirby pencils. That's how great Kirby was. And Vince Colletta could ruin anybody else. Inkers were a big deal back then because they could make or break a penciler sometimes. That's Colletta stuff right there, I believe. But
'tis Pluto.
Yeah.
I come with gifts.
Remember when Thor talked like that?
I come with mead.
I say thee nay.
Now he talks like a clown. Like Josh Whedon wrote him all the time.
Yeah, it sounds right.
There you go, man. Well, I love it. I love you. Absorbing Man.
I remember I think if I remember correct, this is Ripa's favorite Thor run. He had always talked about how the Lee and Kirby run was his Thor run.
Oh yeah, mine too.
And for good reason, of course.
Just we can't stop without.
Oh
yeah.
Is that Crusher Creel?
That is.
Oh man,
yes, sir.
Dude.
That is, you are correct, sir.
Love that character.
No, it's down at the very bottom. Of course it is.
Get to the bottom. Get in there.
This is gonna be a little risky.
Come on, you can do it. Just put your hand all the way in.
Don't hurt yourself, man.
Don't hurt the books.
Guys, bear with us.
I had a comic avalanche.
He's being stunning and brave right now. He's being very stunning and brave. This is true stunning and brave. Just look at that toxicity fueling from this.
How can you not love the Hercules Thor stuff every time they fight? Or even with sort of the simple things. The first time one of the first times they come across one another, they arm wrestle, and in doing so they do it on top of a mountain. But in the process, they destroy the mountain beneath them, and they never win. One never wins over the other.
I love Marvel's version of Hercules, especially the Bob Layton miniseries, the first one, Prince of Power from the early 80s. Classic.
Find the first Loki in here.
It'll be Journey into Mystery number 85.
There we go.
Journey into Mystery. Yes.
Where in his first appearance, he starts turning cars into ice cream.
Zax, I'm gonna say I don't know in this world that for our world I should say that question is not a question, but I get what you're saying. To answer it properly, I would not put it past modern age Marvel to do that.
Well, they've done it recently, or whatever you want to call it.
Whatever it is called now. What's ever called on Wednesday.
They've already done it with Wolverine. Hercules and Wolverine already did it.
In Ultimate, they've also done it to Hercules too. Oh man.
I mean, the early stuff was great because you would get backup stories of just the other gods and their mythology. So they really got to play with all
back
the
early days. You were invested because you got so much information. You saw the world grow, world building, information that actually mattered.
Dude, this is so cool. And you got a great collection of the epics there, man. Fantastic.
There's I think like 5 or 6 more I still need to get to finish this out. And then I have one last thing here I can show off for recommendation.
Oh yeah, show it off.
Gold Digger.
Okay, I have those guys. I have one of those. I have one of those.
That sounds like one of my exes.
Very anime-ish.
Isn't that pretty much everyone's ex?
But a couple years ago they hit. This is one of the 25 book bundles, but for celebrating hitting 200 issues, they wound up releasing the first 199 available online for free. So, free comics, people.
They are easy to find online.
Where's Newt?
That's the old Hercules cartoon. The Mighty Hercules.
I've got to clean this up now.
It's okay. You gave us a lot of beautiful visual to look at, Ironcaster. So if you've got a bonus, go ahead. I'll zoom in again. I'll make an exception.
So bonus? It wouldn't be Nickwise without food coming up.
Oh, yes, had to. Oh,
Taste of Chicago.
Oh, cheddar cheese and caramel. Oh,
what a mix! Yeah,
dude, I love that's a Chicago mix.
And now you gave me the money.
How much is that?
You just gave me the money.
I'm not looking at money, Dizzy. I'll tell you what. When me and my girlfriend had our pizza cheese sticks from the Detroit company, she's like, "Oh, how much it cost?" I'm like, "I don't know, money. It was food. We were hungry. It was a great dinner. We were both very big fans of what we consumed." Oh, I bet.
There you go, man. Oh, you get a lot of salty. I get a lot of cheese.
All right. Well, guys, as per usual, I always say, around 2 hour mark, we're only 8 minutes over. But I like to, stop while the iron is still hot. So I'm going to let our first gentleman here, God.
Love it. And of course, ended with the caramel. So you get a
caramel
color consistency to them.
There you go.
Ironcaster. Now, why don't you plug your channel where you're talking about what's going on this weekend while you're eating popcorn?
I'm sticking it on my beard. Oh, that's good. Save that for later. I, of course, am... Sorry. That's good whiskey. I, of course, am Ironcaster. I like to sometimes talk about big robots. You can find me on my channel, Ironcaster, talking about some big robots. I've got Gundam coming up on Monday. We are going to episode 6 of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Oh, don't forget about the whole Char thing we have planned for the next stream.
Oh yeah,
don't forget
there's
that.
a little something coming with that. But also, more importantly, I'm at 98 subscribers.
Oh,
I'm hoping to get 2 more.
Congratulations.
Let's get him over that hump there, folks.
Let's tickle him there. Let's
I'll see
tickle
if
him there.
I'll see if I'm actually still sub to you. Maybe I can be your 100.
So
Yeah, right.
I do about an hour-long live stream on Mondays with Fenrir and Brightest Day, who may or may not be in the chat, but it doesn't look like it. And we are looking to maybe cover 1 or 2 other little side things coming up.
Ooh.
Okay,
Which more to
I'm
come with
99. Just became your 99, dude.
Oh.
You are on my channel. We're subscribed.
99, that's right. Dude, come on, someone. Let's put him over the top.
T-shirted. I will make sure I
100.
drop by tomorrow. I definitely want to drop. I will at least drop by with an appearance. At the very least, T-shirt. It's the least I can do for you, my man. And TZ Canadian, your review of Canadian chocolate was great for you days ago. Thank you, buddy. And that is all because of the awesome RM Briggs and her husband Andy for going out of their way and delivering all that delicious stuff from Canada to the US of A. I appreciate you. No, it was a great stream. It was very fun. We had besides yelling at park cars, is my most watched stream ever. We at one point had around like 30 people in the chat. So people were turning up for that one. So yeah, she's a great narrator as usual. I mean, I'd expect nothing less from her, of course. But anything else you got, Ironcaster?
Iron, you are at 102.
102.
Oh, there
Yep.
you go. Yeah.
No, thank you, everyone. This is
All
this is
right,
one of the,
man.
this is one of the first big milestones for me. I am so grateful for that.
It'll
And-
only go up, bud.
I am looking forward to more. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something for 100 now, but
Right.
we'll see in the upcoming days.
Yes. All right. Fenrir, plug in your channel. And by the way, dude, thank you for hanging out, man. You live? No? Bueller. Maybe, all right, maybe he passed out. All right, Fenrir. Have a good
You
night.
already know me. I'm Fenrir the Ice Wolf. I'm Fenrir. Okay, I'm here. Whoa, I'm here.
So plug in your channel, bud. I'm going to post your link.
Okay, I'm Fenrir the Ice Wolf. If y'all remember me, I am the destroyer of the world, but I cannot be qualified like that because the Federation will be up my ass if I do say that I'm the destroyer of the world. Those guys are very strict about that. So, yeah, you already
Those
know me.
clap you around like
Yes, they do that. Yeah. As you know me, I do videos about crap and bullshit. I hate everyone equally, just like the great J. Jonah Jameson. So no one better ask for any special treatment.
I'm so
Yeah, out of the basic-
subscribing.
If you want to learn about me, just go see my channel or go look for me on Twitter. Whatever the hell you want to do. I really don't care anymore.
You're so convincing. Anyway,
So edgy.
Pablo, Geektropology, plug away, my friend.
Well, I have my channel, Geektropology. Also, I'm of Minas H Español. I'm around here. I with the pop culture archivists. I'm at the Global Geek Gang. I'm around a lot. I know now why my web pages are not done on time, but anyway, come and join, and we will do some fun stuff.
All right, awesome. And last, but of course not least, one of the finest gentlemen running along the YouTube world, and a man of guru-like knowledge, who utters the phrase, "It's clobbering times." The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Great to be here. What a wonderful chat you got here. A great panel. You guys are all fun to hang out with. Appreciate you. Let's see here on Clobbering Times tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're continuing our ongoing mission. The wonderful, aforementioned, wonderful Raquel Briggs, my first officer, reviewing all of real Star Trek, 66 through 05 only, and we start now. As we've done original series, we've done animated series, and now we will be starting with the original cast film. So tomorrow night, Star Trek: The Motion Picture and Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. And we'll do 2 for the next 3 weeks. We'll be doing 2 of those 6 films. And let's see here. Monday night Comics, March C Comics Talk, as I call it, on 8 p.m. Central. The beautiful, magnificent Purple Valkyrie will be joining me to have a general comics discussion. Next Wednesday night, it'll be the sequel or the follow-up to my past Wednesday night's show that was top 25 all-time favorite movies that my buddy Flash and I did our countdown on. But we wanted to give, because 25 is just too small a number. So we wanted, and everyone kept naming all these movies that we couldn't fit on our list that we do love. So we want to do a little honorable mention list. Talk about some films that were great that just didn't quite make it because there's so many. You know how that goes. Mm-hmm. So that'll be great. And anyway, Global Geek Gang, 1 p.m. Central next Thursday, as always. Which of you, of course, are an illustrious member, Nick.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks again, buddy, for having me.
And
Ironcaster as well, and Pablo. And Ironcaster and Pablo, of course, are also distinguished and honored members.
It's great being there, man.
Always is.
I love you guys.
It never gets old.
Hey, Clobber, soon I'm going to start doing streams. I'd like to have you on one of those and speak about the degradation of the Starfleet and how it all went to shit with just the hands of one dude.
Anytime, buddy. Anything for you, man.
There you go. Invitation's out. Now you got to respond.
All right.
Anything for you, buddy.
Just got to get the streams going.
Absolutely, man.
All right. So I still got my gloves on. See you guys. I'm still wearing the gloves. All right, so you all are still here. Thank you for hanging out, sticking around. I appreciate it. TZ Canadian Beer, thank you for the $10. That was freaking awesome, by the way. Appreciate that. To everyone else in the chat, awesome. Hey, Jacob, Archer Barton, Pat S., you all be very well. Disease, Philbo Baggins. I know Steve Mitchum took off Zach 7. Ironcaster got new subs as well. This was a fun panel, of course. And, of course, D. Bud Martin, the man. Just absolutely thankful that this comic panel continues to be something fun and just a great conversation. And, of course, having great guests and co-hosts is everything. Scott Jennings of the Dix Division. Hail, sir. Hail. We're at the tail end, man. But please check the replay. I promise this shit's worth it, man. That's what I mean. Like, this is why I say you always end it when the iron's still hot. Should we raid Matt next? You bet your ass we will, Pat S. You bet your ass. And stay frosty. We will, Philbo Baggins. But next Tuesday, I am covering the movie Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze. I got the panel all set. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be beautiful. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Central, same bat time, same bat channel, but different movie. Roadhouse, I would recommend any of you guys who plan on checking in Tuesday night, watch Roadhouse. Even if you've seen it, refamiliarize it because we're going to have a blast. I already got the full panel set, and of course, at the end of it, we'll announce the movie for after. And I've got a few videos on the whole Megadeth situation on the way that I have very strong feelings on. So if that umbrella guy wants to touch the whole Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard, I'm being umbrella guy with Megadeth. That's my equivalent. And Scott Jennings, I know you'll be there, man. You have been there through and through. Yes, Roadhouse, Crucible to Praise. It's going to be a blast. So I can't wait. And now is the part as we say goodbye and we cue the music. Some of you should know by now, but it's na 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 na. Hey, good job.